concrete, cold, cracking out the edges underneath the radar station. Signal, heavy, broken, bury the bone, bury the wire, digging through the dirt for the supertone. Archaeology are the lie, the government keeps the maps, dirt for the supertone. Archaeology are the lie, the government keeps the maps, dirt for the supertone. Dust is coming through the frequency, is coming through the frequency. Radio waves, radio waves. The monster is a ghost in the machine. The monster is a ghost in the machine. Green light, pulses, scanning the wheat, flattened circles in the grain. Signs, ancient, strange. Maybe it is, maybe it was, maybe it will be the end of us. Tuning the dial to the static void, cryptid crawling out the screen. The mist is breathing now, sweating, shaking. Watch the sky for the metal disc. He is coming through the frequency. He is coming through the frequency. Radio waves, radio waves. The monster is a ghost in the machine. The monster is a ghost in the machine. Discovery is a sharp knife. The ruins speak, the ruins bleed, the ruins wait. Toss the coins for divination. Watch the patterns on the internet, the unexplained, the unaligned, the undefined. Science cannot hold a shadow. He is coming through the frequency. He is coming through the frequency. Radio waves, radio waves. The monster is a ghost in the machine. The monster is a ghost in the machine.
All right, it is 12 August 2026, and we got to get the stream going with Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, pre-show coming up, and then the show later on, and we'll have Jack Carey after they're done, and when Jack's done, we will have, that's right, the VIXEN'S Vault with Nancy Planetta's Legion of Chaos. So, welcome in, settle in, and let's get things going. Hope everybody had a great week and a great time and a good past weekend. There's more to come. If you like what we do, please like, follow, subscribe, depending on the platform, and, share it out. We appreciate each and every one of you. Morrow in the Kick Chat. Ishara TV in the Kick Chat. Elenial Baby in the Kick Chat. Give me a minute. I'm going to switch things around here a little bit. And get our buddies. Censorship Sucks up and running here. I'm going to give them a call in just a sec. Everything looks like it's rolling really good. Rolling, rolling, rolling. That was an AI version of Bacchus earlier that I did that I created. Thank you. If you liked it, let me know. The top of the hour, we will be on the radio side as well. Oh, let me call them up right now and get John and Barry going, and maybe our good friend David Hogg from Mines will join us. Barry. John. For the pre-show.
Howdy.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good so far.
Very good. Very good. Barry sent me a text and said,
Yeah?
There he is.
that he might be running a little late. Oh, okay. Here he is.
Doesn't
I
like
didn't
me.
I didn't know. It was a slight chance, so I just wanted to give you a heads up. But I thought I would probably be okay, but just wanted to play it safe, but to let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
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 And we thank you for that.
Yeah. Much.
Well, what's
much,
going on?
Much appreciated.
How you doing? How's everybody doing? How you doing, David? How you doing?
So far, so good.
Doing okay.
Been a
David's here.
pretty nice day here so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hot here, but I don't know. Other than that, it's not too bad.
That's going to be down to 99 tomorrow, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Sounds chilly.
yeah. Breaking out the sweaters and everything.
I know. I was looking at some of my clothes that I bought like at the end of the year. I was like, man, it's going to be a while before I break that out.
Yep. Get to wear
You know,
that jacket once a year.
Yeah. We wear in Oklahoma. We get a little bit of everything, but
Yeah,
you're
you're-
probably not so much. But
Yep.
I always liked Colorado though because during the summertime it would be hot and warm during the day, but at night it would cool down.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, freezing in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Yep. As soon as that sun comes out, you're like, oh, I don't need this jacket anymore.
Yeah, it was great, man.
Yep.
I cherished that couple 2.5 years living out at Granby. It was wonderful, man. On Snow Mountain Ranch.
And Granby. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. That's wild country up there, man.
Right between Winter Park and I don't know, not too far away, I guess, from Denver. I guess not too far. Maybe what, an hour and a half or something? Maybe I don't know. I can't remember.
Well, when I went there, I drove north up to like Fort Collins, and then went up over that huge pass. What is that? Like the Continental Divide National Park or something like that. That's up there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you drop down the backside, and boom, you're right. Like Granby's the first town you come to.
Yeah. Well, it was. I lived pretty much at Snow Mountain Ranch, which was right by Granby.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you what the name of that park is. That national park is bugging me, and I need to know. Rocky
Where the
Mountain
camp
National
for the
Park.
unwed boys is, right? No?
Yeah, Estes Park and Rocky Mountain National Park
Mm.
is up there. That's where the some of the exterior scenes. No, it was the interior scenes for The Shining were filmed there, whereas
Oh, there
the
you go.
exterior stuff was done at Mount Hood out in Oregon.
Mm. Okay. Yeah. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that's where that took place, outside of Boulder and Colorado and Denver and all that, the whole movie. But yeah.
I watched some movie with Chris Pratt, and it was like free on Roku, and Jennifer Lawrence, where there's a similar scene. Remember when he goes into the bar and he's talking to that dude that's really not there? There's a scene like that in Passengers, except for he thinks it's a person, but it turns out it's just a robot. It's got a
Oh,
human.
come on, man! Spoiler alert, Barry.
Ah,
Man, I'm sorry to our listeners.
I think
Barry forgot to use
it's
spoiler
over.
alert.
It's everybody's either seen it or don't want to see it by this time. It's
Yeah.
not. It's even that.
Remember that time you spoiled Soylent Green for almost everybody? You thought they'd seen it.
Toilet green?
Yeah, Toilet Green, exactly. Don't even bring up Planet of the Apes.
If your
If
toilet's
the movie's over 50 years old, you're not giving, there's no spoiler alerts.
it's not that old, but
Right,
if
because the old people have Alzheimer's and they're going to not remember the endings and the spoiler. Got it. Okay.
I just
Got
want
it.
I just want to say if your toilet is green, you might cut back on the spirulina and the chlorella.
Yes, this is Soylent Green. Toilet Green sounds like a cleaner.
I was taking this thing. It was like a droplet thing, and it's the green stuff that's in plants.
Oh, yeah,
So-
mescaline.
No, mescaline. No, definitely not mescaline. That reminds me of the city.
Oh, God.
That
Was it
reminds me of-
chlorophyll?
Chlorophyll. Yes, chlorophyll drops, dude. That stuff is green. Now that will turn your toilet green.
All right. Welcome to Pooping Habits with Bullhorn Barry.
And how to keep your toilet clean as you detox.
And green.
Right.
Does it stain the porcelain, though?
That's right.
I don't think anything's permanently stained. But what do I know?
Yep.
You just got to find the right substance to remove it.
There you go. What you do is you break up little bits of crayon and you put it in your kids' pancakes. You tell them that it's M&Ms, and then when they poop, they get like a psychedelic experience.
Rainbow
Do not
poop?
try this at home. Do not try this at home.
Unicorn poop.
Unicorn
'Cause
poop.
that's- yeah,
That's a thing.
it is.
Yep.
Sometimes I don't talk much because I'm just letting, I'm getting all my articles in line and all that kind of stuff. And so I just let you guys organically go where you're going to go. And then other times I feel the need to sort of jump in and guide the conversation back to something relevant.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
Barry started with the poop.
Well, yeah. I'm just kind of putting
It's
into it.
Barry's
That's all.
fault.
Always
Point that
goes
out.
back to the poo. It seems like. I don't know.
It is the lowest common denominator because everybody poops.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, back to this. Let's see that one.
Don't forget that one.
Flying cars are coming to Florida, folks.
Hawaiian cars?
Flying.
Oh, flying cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have
Yeah.
hula hoops. They don't have
They
hula
keep
hoops or
promising.
skirts on, okay?
Right.
So are they naked?
But you will get laid.
Are they naked?
The flying cars, are they naked?
Yeah.
Now, are we talking real flying cars? Or are these big quadcopters now?
Quadricopters, yeah, the drones.
Yeah, that you can actually ride in. They sell them on Temu of all places.
Well, whenever that starts, it's going to be a clusterfuck in the air there. I mean, I don't know who's going to be in charge of what elevation and,
I'm holding out for the one that folds up into a briefcase like the Jetsons have.
Yeah.
Because parking is going to cost a ton.
Charging
Yeah.
will cost even more.
Yeah. They didn't really tell you how the Jetsons cars were propelled, but they made a really cool noise.
It's simple. The cogs are nuclear based.
Oh, well, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Of course.
The Cogswell cogs?
Yeah, Cogswell cogs and Spacely sprockets. They're all nuclear based.
I think you're
So when you put the two together, it creates a reaction. That's why Cogswell and Sprocket can't get along. They just blow up, right?
Yeah. What's in the pipe, Mark?
I'm not sharing tonight. You get your own Thompson's cigar package to come into you monthly. Then we can talk about it. We can
There you
swap
go.
Cigars then.
What was it? The loose tobacco they'd sell at Walgreens, like Top Hat or something? Come with the rolled papers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Bugler.
Bugler.
Oh. Yeah.
That's
Bugle is one. Yeah.
it's a. You can use that to cut with some
Oh,
good tobacco to make it decent, but you know that's when you're
No, what's
being real frugal about it. You know.
Yeah. Well, you know, when you're like 16,
Oh yeah, yeah. You know.
trying to be sneaky, you can buy that at Walgreens.
Yeah, and
mm.
Prince Albert.
Was in a
If you
can.
get a little
Yeah.
bit more money on the side, you know. Yeah.
Yep. We couldn't afford the can.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever do snuff in high school?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, I did snuff before I took and smoked.
Did you have the ring in your back pocket?
Yeah.
That was like the
And-
indicator when you had
and
that
I
little
used to
ring.
And I used to get the 3rd degree from it every time I came home. Where are you getting that ring in your pocket from? Where are you getting
Yep.
that stuff from? I'm like, I don't know. My grandparents always bought it for me, but anyways. Go talk to
Yep, used to do it
Grandpa
with
and Grandma. You know?
Yep. Yeah, that's back when tobacco was a good thing.
Yeah.
I was a Skoal guy.
Yeah.
I started out Kodiak. Remember that? It was a little bit more mild, and then I tried Copenhagen, but Copenhagen was too ground up,
It's
man.
just- yeah,
it just
it's
went
too
all over your
fine.
mouth.
Yeah.
I did not like it.
Yeah. And,
But then I quit because my gum started to recede, and they started talking
Yeah, that'll
about
do it.
cancer and stuff. So I actually ended up having to have a little minor surgery right there on the bottom front tooth there. They had to take some tissue off the top of my roof of my mouth to put it down there so that the gums wouldn't recede anymore. But that was all from Skoal.
I never
Wow.
had a cavity until I started using tobacco. That's a true
Yeah,
story.
not good for the teeth, not good for the
No.
coloring of the teeth. Yeah.
But,
Yep.
I blame it on my coffee, too, because, the coffee, as much I drink, and for as long as I've been drinking coffee, I'm sure, it's, I'm surprised they're not the same color as the coffee.
They're working on it. That's why you add creamer to slow down the.
No.
the effect.
That ruins the flavor. Come on.
All right.
Oh, gotta have creamer.
No. Ooh, yuck. Now, okay. If you're drinking tea, okay, I can put, because tea's so bitter to me. You can put that in there unless it's iced tea, and then add something citrus to it, like lime or lemon to it.
Jack Daniels.
That's me, yeah. But actually, Earl Grey's pretty good with that Italian sweet cream. Have you ever tried that?
No.
No, I can't remember the last time I had a cup of hot tea. We're talking like 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Like I've never had hot tea.
Not a hot tea man.
Well, I have
Are you?
daughters that are really big into tea and that. And they'll be like, we made some extra. Like, okay, I'll drink some. And it's really not that bad. It's, it's just something different on the side.
No.
Right.
No, it's not bad. It's just I just never have a reason to make it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Right.
have coffee in the morning. I'll have coffee in the morning, but
I won't pass on a chai latte if you got one though.
Wobbly in
iced-
the kick chat. Oh, yeah.
Iced tea. It's better anyway.
Iced tea with vanilla ice.
With
No.
lemon, with
No.
mix.
Iced tea, the wrapper, with vanilla ice, the white wrapper.
Mm.
I don't know.
No.
Nah. I'm not big on
All right.
vanilla. Unless it's
All right.
ice cream itself. Okay.
I mean, it could be a thing. I mean, they've got Kardashian and Paris Hilton. They've all got their drinks now. That's pink and
Ew.
all of them like it's poison. It's like complete poison if you drink it. But everybody's going to buy it because the Kardashians. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the same could probably be said about most cola corporations.
Oh yeah, of course,
You
man.
know. But yeah, it's What is it? Jake Paul did his, was it Prime or whatever? His sports drink or energy drink. Kids fighting over it. Like, yeah.
It'd be one thing if it was like good ingredients, but they charge a premium price for, all the cheap ingredients like corn syrup or high fructose corn syrup and a whole bunch of stuff you can't pronounce. It's like, it's just a cheap product and you're slapping your name on it and saying, oh, this is really great.
Yep, and kids will go buy it. Or bug their parents to buy it.
Exactly.
Yep.
Except for a lot of them are just kind of failing. Like Ben Stiller's drink's not doing too well.
Poor Ben Stiller.
Someone else came up with one as well. I can't remember. Some other Holly weirdo.
Right.
And it's just not working because nobody really cares what they do. I don't think anywhere, like even outside of their bubble, that they would be famous.
Well, yeah, no one's going to, oh my God, Ben Stiller's making a drink. I can't wait to try it. Yeah. No.
Yeah. Well, he went to like Whole Foods or one of those places where they were promoting his, and nobody was even walking up to him.
Right.
And he's sitting there at the counter with his drink, which, if you're a celebrity, you'd think, oh, you'd have people asking for your autograph and people coming up and talking, but they were just ignoring him because, well, I guess he's just annoying.
He's Ben Stiller.
He probably wasn't annoying until recently, but, he is now.
Right.
Although it does seem like every now and then I'll see a movie that looks maybe interesting, but I don't feel like paying for it. It's like if it's not free, I'm not interested at this point.
None of it's worth paying for, Barry.
No,
that's the secret. None of it is.
I think that...
just wait. It'll be free.
I like the apocalyptic films. That Dog Wars looks like it might be good because I like Josh Brolin as an actor. I don't know too much about him personally, but I think he does a good job acting.
Separate the art from the artist. It's hard to do. And don't pay for anything.
Oh my God.
And John is right, man. The commercials, oh my gosh, dude. Even on Roku, I got to tolerate the commercials, and they're just horrible.
Right.
There's the one on Ozempic it has to be the worst commercial for Ozempic. Like you'd think it would be good, it would promote, but no, there's a guy standing behind a microphone just like I am right now, and he's reading off, and the mic is like covering half of his face, which you would never do if you were shooting a video. You would never shoot it in a way that the microphone is like covering half of your face, and he's reading off all the horrible side effects, and this goes on for like 30 seconds straight, and I'm like, and he's far away in the distance in this big studio in front of a microphone reading it off, and I'm like going, how is that going to help, And then I see the Ozempic commercial versus the other commercial. Oh, this our drug makes you lose weight more, but I thought, yeah, but does it come with Skeletor face? Because
there you go.
Skeletor
less Skeletor face.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the Ozempic bonus. You get the Skeletor face.
Right. Some people would pay good money for those Skeletor cheekbones.
Yeah,
I think so.
And listen to this. Ozempic is now being tested by the VA as a method to take and reduce alcohol in your diet.
Hey. Yep, it's the wonder drug. You just need to, you need that lizard venom in you, and you'll be fine.
Snake bite.
Because they're turning you into lizard people.
It could be.
It's a reptilian plot, people. I'm telling you, the frogs are tired of being turned gay.
They're being turned ultra reptilian.
Yeah.
Because they're already reptilian, but...
Yes, well, they're putting reptilian, venom.
Snake venom in us. What was that? That was in that was what Dr. The chiropractor dude, he was talking about the snake venom in the... was it the vaccine?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Who also told you to use tobacco.
That's an actual
bring it back around to that.
The whole thing about the nicotine, that's a documented fact. I just heard Dr. Peter McCall talking about that, how the nicotine... Right. He said actually most people that smoke did not get COVID.
Yep.
And he thought, just like I thought, those would be the worst people because they would have the most compromised immune systems, but the people that smoke, because of the nicotine, it somehow killed the spike protein.
Yeah.
And that one doctor was talking about it forever. And so like a lot of people now, because nicotine is essentially safe. It's like caffeine. It's safe. You can.
Well, it's addictive, of course. So is caffeine.
Well, yeah, but it's addictive. I was getting ready to add that. But so is caffeine. But a lot of people are wearing the patch for a couple of reasons. One, for mental alertness, because it really helps with that. And two is, to be a preventative for, I guess, these kind of viruses or whatever, the flu and COVID and stuff like that. They just periodically wear them. Some people I hear wear them all the time. I think RFK Jr. does that as well.
Yeah. So you back up. They wear the patch for mental alertness. That's what you said, right? So basically, I can go with one of these patches in my hand. When someone's being stupid, I can smack them on the back of the head and just tell them I was applying a patch to make them a little more alert. Right?
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're awesome.
Okay.
That seems like a crazy backdoor to like somehow get addicted to cigarettes,
Yeah, that too. Yeah, but still, you're smacking some
wearing
sense
the
into people, and put that patch on them.
Yeah.
Damn, that cigarette smells really good. Can I get one?
That whole secondhand smoke thing. Yeah, I don't believe in that. Yeah. Nobody's hanging out outside an AA meeting just to get some secondhand smoke.
Yeah, I wonder how much I wonder if it's really worse. It could be. I don't know. I'm just saying. I always wondered if that's just like a talking point.
I'm sure it is.
I'm sure, like,
because you need to get vaccinated to
if you're a
protect your
kid,
neighbor.
You would not want to live with your parents. If your parents smoke 3 packs a day and you're sitting there inhaling that is obnoxious. The parents should go outside, for goodness sake, and smoke outside.
Right.
But
the kid can go outside.
But the kid doesn't become addicted to secondhand smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, for me, there's only 2 places I smoke. All right? My room and on the porch outside. I don't smoke anywhere else in the house.
Well,
so, sure, it carries, but,
your kids can man up. They can deal with the smoke.
Yeah,
it's not a big
exactly.
deal.
They don't have to live there. They can live wherever they want.
No, don't. No. There are court orders about things like that,
I grew up in the 70s, man. We didn't have seatbelts.
Yeah, here, have a beer,
smoked in the
kid.
car.
Yep, didn't even know what a helmet was. Yeah.
Hold on,
My
that's
grandpa's
too
giving me
much.
beers at 8.
Give me that can back, kid.
Yeah. Our skateboards had metal wheels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We were indestructible.
And when you hit a rock, you fell forward and you basically got seriously injured.
You get a rock stuck under the truck.
Superman.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Superman.
It
launch you forward.
And the tiniest little pedal too. I like the tiniest little pedal.
The tiniest.
Well, how about this?
Anything.
I've been seeing lots of like these. You remember the STP and the TTP? Evil Knievel. You pull the string and you got the bike and you put it down. Man, I want one of those again. I see
they got them on Amazon.
They're putting them out, and there's people doing like, Evil Knievel jumped like 36 buses today. And it's just a guy.
Nice.
I'm serious.
Yep.
It's just a guy with one of those old ones. Look, I don't know if you can buy them new anymore, but I'm sure.
They've remade them.
Oh my God, those were great. And the ones you used to do with what was it, the air pump, and you get it going and you release it.
Oh, air hogs or what the heck was that?
Oh man,
they had the Nerf rocket when you stepped on it.
He says, the good life is a good smoke, a good whiskey, and a good woman. Heck yeah.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 aren't bad.
Yeah. I got 3. I can do with the first 2, but I'm still working on that last one. Maybe.
Yep. Yep. What's the quote from Spinal Tap? As long as there was sex and drugs, I can live without the rock and roll.
Yeah.
Looks like I better get my bathroom break in.
You better.
Yeah, good idea.
We're going to switch rooms in about 3 minutes, too.
Yeah, but, we got plenty of time, because... We're good like
Where we
that.
lose David, though, it's not plenty of time. It's only 2 minutes left with David.
Yeah.
With
Yeah,
David.
exactly.
It's
Just
nothing.
yeah, it's nothing
2
without
minutes with
David.
David
Nothing.
Hogg.
Yeah.
You're listening to
Nothing.
NPR.
Yeah.
It's the porno he made.
I'm going to start clipping out the the first part of this section for when we don't have Willie. So, on Sundays, and then I can take and put it in on the Sunday show. Oh yeah, by the way, David Hogg was here.
Wait.
Barry was
So I
too
get
for
to
a
be the
Sunday.
resident crazy?
Huh?
I get to be the resident crazy?
Yeah, you could be the resident crazy when Willie's
All
not
right.
here, I guess. If we do that, I'll have to come up with some really good clips to put that together. Unless you want to do it,
Yeah.
David, and just give me some
I do not need
filler.
anything that'll come back in court, okay?
Yeah, just give me about a 25-minute segment, things to fill in there. Where we can actually just go in there and talk over it.
25-minute rant on ranch dressing.
Yeah, ranch dressing, flat earth, and
There you go.
and Michael the Midget.
Michael the Midget.
I don't know if you heard it, but Willie did your whole thing about ranch dressing in the hot dogs, except for they don't squirt when you're cooking them; they squirt when you bite them.
Right.
When you bite.
Which I was like, okay, he went there.
Yep.
Took it one level higher.
Yeah, that's Willie for you.
Well, he was the one
Yep.
that came up with the glory hole, or was it you?
No, I think that was Willie.
No, I
Wasn't it?
came up
No?
with the glory hole, but I wanted the monkeys to drill glory holes and start using them for sex.
Right, and Willie turned it
But
into
then
a
he-
pond.
Yeah, he turned it into the pond that they jumped
Yeah.
into. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Because he might
Like-
not know what a glory hole was.
the monkeys are just carving little circular holes everywhere about waist high.
That was back during COVID because that was one of the ways that they suggested that you have intercourse. Remember?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. It was one of the COVID
safe
safe ways.
sex.
Yeah,
Oh.
just go to a glory
Can you
hole.
imagine? Yeah, go to some gas station and stick your dick through a hole in the. That's safe.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
safe.
and convince yourself that it's a
And
woman on the
I
other
think we
side.
should switch rooms.
All right, let's broadcast through the church. We're ready.
All right. Are you ready, Barry?
No,
I'm here,
Barry's
man.
taking a poop.
All right, we're
Barry's-
switching rooms,
Barry's making his
bud.
own flat earth.
All right, ranch dressing, folks. We'll be back with the real show right after this. All right, that was the pre-show for Censorship Sucks. I hope everybody's wound up and ready to go for this. You just never know what's going to happen. I know it's not a Sunday night, but it sounds like the guys are kind of wound up already. So that's good. Let me, yeah, I should probably start that too. And let me get John and Barry in here. Do. Hey. Oh, not that night.
What's up, Rira?
I'm glad I clicked the right room.
Yeah, me too. Sunday won't work, man. Just letting you know.
Yeah, Sundays don't work on Wednesday.
We found that out. It could if we all were there. It could work.
If we were there, yeah, on a Sunday. Or if I
Or a
had my
Wednesday.
head straight on a Wednesday, but that didn't happen tonight.
Yeah, that's good. You're in top shape tonight.
Oh, I am.
I can sense it. Oh, I sense it, man.
Oh. So far,
Yeah, you're gonna push those buttons like
And-
nobody.
and click like there's no tomorrow until I get a virus, right?
Yeah.
You know?
When I look on the image, I want to see you work in that console just like a DJ. I want you up and about
Right,
dancing around.
like a DJ?
On.
Nah, not on
the
your
disco
life.
ball up.
Are you
Might as
there?
well have, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got 30 seconds.
Okay.
Is that your 30 seconds
Well,
or
my
real
30 seconds. You know?
Okay, I figured.
Because
that
it's a
could mean
lot
like-
different than your 30 seconds. You know?
Mhm.
Look out, cats, dogs, curtain climbers, and crumb beggars. Here it comes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're live for the very first time tonight, right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, Wednesday night edition for August 12th, 2026. Summer's screaming by, man. It's screaming by. I'm starting to get to that point where I'm convincing myself that September is still part of summer for sure, without a doubt. Right, Barry?
Oh, yeah. You know it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not till October, November when it really starts cooling off. And by then, I'll be in southern Arizona, so we'll go right back to the 70s and 80s. Beautiful weather again.
You got it all planned out. You got it mapped out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good life, man. Just do the yo-yo back and forth across Arizona. Summer in the north, winter in the south, and you never get cold, you never get hot. Life is just always right there in that sweet spot. But you just got to be careful during the transitions. You don't want to go north too soon, go south too soon. You got to play it just right. It's a real art to pick the perfect day to go, make the transition.
Now, do you get a chance to enjoy the fall foliage, though? I mean, you got to kind of make room for that.
No, but not per se. I mean, I could stick around, but there's not. Northern Arizona is not it's all pine trees. It's like the largest pine forest in the country, or in the world, for that matter. You know what I mean? And so there's not a lot of trees that change colors up here. It's just all pines.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some, but it's not like, you're in like northern Michigan or upstate New York, you know what I mean, where it's all oranges and crazy colors. It's just kind of patches here and there,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you just
look up at a mountain.
Live through somebody else. Go on YouTube and check out, the fall foliage in some beautiful area. I recommend Trout and Coffee. Good show, man, if you like that kind of scenery.
Trout and Coffee, huh?
Yeah. Good show for lots of beautiful scenic roads with lots of fall foliage when it's that season, of course. And, living off the grid type of living. It's pretty cool. It's the thing.
Well, we got Yotivation. Yeah, we got Yotivation Nation. She ought to do some streams out of her back porch. She's living half the time in upstate New York and the other half in Ohio. So 2 areas, spectacular areas as far as, fall colors are concerned. So we'll have to get her in on all this. But anyway, let's dive into some actual stuff going on. Enough small talk. Breaking news, Carolyn Leavitt just resigned as press secretary today for the White House. So she is no longer press secretary. She either just has or is just about to have her child. I think she just had it, didn't she? But, she's got 3, 4 kids now, and it's just like, hey, here's my priorities. She's like 28 years old. You know that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, she was the youngest ever press secretary, took the job at 27. And I mean, wow. That's impressive. When I was 27, I mean, the White House was nowhere near to knocking on my door to have me be their press secretary,
I mean, that's for you, though. He's the man of inclusivity.
But he sure found one with her, man. She's, wise well beyond her years, as that saying goes. Wisdom far beyond her age. Just an incredible talent. And if I were her, or if I were advising her, I would say, you know what? Take a few years off. Get your kids, out of diapers, get them up and going to school and all that stuff, and then do what you want. The world is your oyster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one's going to look at you and say, "What were you doing for the last few years?" Or you got a blank spot on your resume in here in between, Fox News host and White House press secretary. What did you do in those couple of years there? Can you account for them?
Mhm.
Well, yeah.
Well, she's still going to be one of Trump's top outside sources, the news said today. So
Yeah.
it's not like there won't be any contact with the White House and her. So that's the good thing.
Yeah.
It's not a complete and total disconnect. See you later. Bye. Never talk to you again kind of thing. It's all on good terms. And apparently they'll still be doing some things, communicating, and who knows exactly what, but them.
Yeah, exactly. And I just, in fact, saw her, I think, yesterday on some Fox News clip I was watching on YouTube where she wasn't in studio, but she was doing some of the commentary probably from home, easy enough. Just put a dedicated room in her house somewhere where she can turn into a studio and off you go. She can take 10 steps, 20 steps any time of the day, go do some work for, the broadcasters and then walk out and go right back to being a mom. Kind of a beautiful gig, So all the best of luck to her and wish her the best. I was a little bit disappointed or, saddened to see this because she is so good. But Trump has had no problem pulling incredibly good press secretaries out of the sky. I mean, we had Sarah Sanders.
Correct.
In his first term. She was amazing, and then, what was the last one? The blonde haired woman. She's on Fox as well quite often.
Dana.
Her word trying to come up with it.
Dana?
Dana?
Yeah.
No, not who I'm
Dana.
thinking of at least.
I thought that was Circle Back, Dana. Circle Back.
Dana Pirro? I'm not sure who Dana. That's Jen Psaki is Circle Back.
Oh, Jen. Yeah. How could I forget that?
Yeah.
Maybe I just want to forget it.
Yeah. Anyway, that just happened in the last hour or so. That was announced, and for what it's worth, I wish her all the best, and I'm sure we'll see her again down the road. She could run for office in a heartbeat, and I would be frightened to death if I went up on a debate stage against her.
You know what would be a great challenge is to go back and every time Jen Psaki stood before the nation, just listen to everything she said and then tabulate the times that she said circle back and find out how many times she actually circled back. Because I bet it was maybe 1% did she circle back and give an answer. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, and by that, I would always took that to mean that like maybe someone from her office would send that person an email and reply later, right? So it would just be sort of a one-on-one thing. It would be private, wouldn't be public for everyone to see. It'd just be like, I'll send you an email on that. And so, yeah, maybe they get it, but what do they do with it? Who sees the answer to it? You know what I mean? It's buried at that point.
It's the perfect scapegoat. Yes, we'll back. We'll get back with you. We'll have some of the administration get back with you. And of course, since they loved Jen and they loved Biden, they didn't care whether or not she got back with them. They would say, we never got the answer. We're still waiting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And so the circle back thing could also be, interestingly enough, that's the thing I've used in the past when I want to mark a point where I'm trying to make a note. I'll say circle back. Then you can search the transcript, find every instance of circle back and figure out what you need to reply to, if that makes sense, right? So it's a way to use almost a keyword that you can search for to find places in your conversation that you need to follow up on. But
it could be.
Anyway.
I doubt that's how she was using it, but it makes a lot of
sense.
You could just turn it over to AI now and say, check all the times I said circle back and see what I need to come up with for this week or next week or what have you. But yeah, it would be neat if you could find a way to trace that back if she ever got back with, the people. I doubt it, and it's probably impossible, like you said, but I would still love to see it.
Yeah. Like I've done similar things like to that in meetings where I'm, taking notes on the conversation and, like I know I can search for the word follow up or whatever and have 4 places I need to follow up on things. Be effective and communicative in that manner and allow myself to actually literally follow up with my literal clients who I'm 100% accountable for versus the, random people in the press and the, human voters out there who would love to hear the answer, but, well, they're not going to be part of that follow-up. So let's see what else is going on. Another breaking story over here from Gateway Pundit. Former SPLC chief financial officer, so the Southern Poverty Law Center, their CFO, was just arrested on fraud charges for secretly funding payments to white supremacist groups. Arrested today in California. This is good news. Now there's going to be a trial. Now we're going to be able to see all this stuff come out, that they funneled millions of dollars to different white supremacist organizations, including the KKK, in order to beef up their presence to allow them to go out and recruit more members and have that budget to be able to get the meetings together, to order some pizzas to feed all the racists there, and then get them to the actual rally, and then maybe even buy them some beers afterwards. A little pat on the back for a hard day's work raising those Nazi flags that it turns out was all bought and paid for by the SPLC, which is illegal because they didn't say to their, donators, people donated to them, hey, we're going to take your $10 and we're going to give it to this KKK group to, so they can buy a Little Caesars pizza and feed everybody while they're at their rally, or do whatever it takes. We're going to give it to them to spend carte blanche, but not just your $5. We're going to give them, $300,000. They were directly tied to some of the groups that were attending the Charlotte riots back, a decade or so ago, when we had one person run over and it was just, huge boondoggle when they supposedly caught Trump saying there were good people on both sides, when he said specifically in the exact same sentence that he condemns the white supremacists and they should be condemned completely. In the same sentence. But they just knocked the sentence in half, Trump said there's good people on both sides. Can you believe him? Let's spread that lie for years and years and years. Well, the SPLC helped put in place the scenario where that lie came to be. So when you're donating to the SPLC, that's what you're getting, folks. You're getting a group that is dividing America, that's going out and paying for opposition to go out and clash against each other, create problems, create riots in the street, create violence, create mayhem, death, so that they could fundraise off of that. It's disgusting, Barry.
100%, man. It is so un-American. It's even hard to wrap your head around it. And this latest particular indictment was a sealed indictment, which we've been telling everybody for months that there are sealed indictments that are just waiting to be opened. And this was one of those sealed indictments, by the way. And according to the news article that I read, it was the SPLC that was giving the money to her. Then she gave whatever it was. I don't remember. Was it millions or $1 million or something? A big chunk of money to the KKK or one of these white supremacist groups and so forth. And, they're supposed to be against these people, but they're actually helping keep them alive, funding them, perhaps even infiltrating them with moles, who knows exactly what. But the result of that is exactly like what you said. It's crime, it's violence, it's chaos, it's death. These are really evil people. There's just really no getting around it. I think you're being actually more than fair. You're being too nice. These people are diabolical. They want to basically bring down America, and we see that happening in a plethora of different ways. This is just one group. There's multiple groups that are doing this kind of stuff. There are multiple nations that are trying to take America down. This thing is rampant, and had Trump not stepped in 2024, who knows where we would be in that collapse. The collapse would be perhaps even finished by now.
Lordy, that's something to think about. But it was too big to rig in 2024, which got us to this point. If it had been close, and I need to call out Brent on this next time he brings it up, because I've let him slide a couple times where he said that Trump barely won. No, he swept every swing state. He won every single swing state. If he hadn't won every single swing state, we would have been counting ballots for 2 weeks after Election Day, right? It would have gone to the hanging chads and dark rooms and pizza boxes on the windows and broken pipes to clear out all the onlookers, and social distancing and 6 feet and what are you doing looking over my shoulder and all that stuff we saw in 2020. It would have been a replay of that had it not been too big to rig, and we saw that last night. I mean, Francesca Hong lost her primary battle by a half a percentage point in the last minute due to some faulty USB plugs that came in from one of the polling districts. There were 9 of them, and 5 of them had the wrong information on them. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, I've got videos on here of CNN just saying, well, we could keep the team here and keep this going for another hour and a half, but we're just going to call it because nothing's happening. They're not doing anything. They're driving to some place to go pick up USB sticks to bring them back, and it could be hours, and we've got no information, so they just shut down the coverage. And, at that point, she was beaten by about a half a percentage point. Now, who did the Democratic Party, the powers that be, want to win that? They did not want to have to defend an all-out communist running for governor. They did not want to have to get behind her, so they took her down. Bernie Sanders is not the powers that be behind the Democratic Party, not by a long shot. And neither, and so, I don't know, Barry, what's your theory on all that?
Well, I think it's important to say the Democrats in that area did not want her to be in there. Because obviously a little sketchy. And I saw that CNN piece, that segment. Talk about awkward. Was that not awkward? The way he was, he was at a loss of words, did not even know what to do. I've never seen anything quite like it.
Yeah, it's like 3 minutes of him going, I don't know what to do. We got people that need to go home at some point tonight. It's 2 a.m. right now. And
yeah, it was awkward. It was very unprofessional. Yeah. It just seemed like something, just adding to the sketchiness of the whole thing. But, we talked about this before on the show multiple times, where we've said that the majority of Democrats are not pro-communism. We shouldn't freak out when the communists are winning in some of these areas. They're winning in the leftist hellscapes. And I don't even believe they're winning in the leftist hellscapes. I believe they're being stolen for them. And that's just a theory, of course. I can't prove that. But obviously, I don't even think in New York City that the majority of people wanted Mamdani in there. I just don't believe that. But they've made it happen, in my opinion. But then again, I don't think we're going to see this happening in areas where, where it's a toss-up between Democrats and Republicans. You know what I'm saying? Where Democrats are sort of more middle of the road, so to speak. It's the leftist wild hellscapes, radical areas that the commies are going to be put in. But I don't think that even the establishment minds this, at least not the establishment at the highest level, because if you look at it, the whole movement that we see within the Democrat Party is this globalist, communist, socialist, Marxist, a thing. It's an amalgamation of a whole bunch of different movements, all designed for one thing, just to tank everything and bring it down, bring America down to its knees so that they can rebuild it. So, like when Brent says it's just a fascist thing, that's his opinion. I disagree. I think it's an amalgamation because they need to use every technique that they can. They don't care if it's socialism. They don't care if it's Marxism or communism or globalism. They want to bring America down. And you look at these places where these Democrats, these commies are winning, they're going to bring those places down. Those places are not going to. Sorry for ranting.
Oh, no, it's okay. And you also have to think about who's counting the votes, right? So who actually controls the mechanism behind the system in power in that state, in that jurisdiction that counts the votes? Because it doesn't matter who votes, it matters who counts the votes. And so you look at a New York City, and of course, it's going to be more of a socialist edge. But you go back to the Midwest, and it's probably going to be going to people like maybe, rational Democrats that aren't wacko nuts, but still do, want to take the country down, still want to see it, rebuilt into something completely different with potentially no Senate, get rid of the Senate, get rid of the presidency, who knows, get rid of the Constitution. There's different degrees. I put up a chart on my page a couple weeks ago about the like 5 different levels of Democrats. And it's like it goes from one extreme is they really want to overthrow the government. And the other extreme is, yeah, it's your parents' Democrat Party. You know what I mean? It's the Democratic Party that used to exist back in the 70s when they put up a Jimmy Carter. They weren't crazy. He wasn't nuts, but he just had a lot of bad ideas, and they played out in real time in the economy, and we all lived through it, and it was a bad time. But, we got away from that through Reagan. The country got built back up again, and on and back and forth it went through the decades there. With the Bushes and the Clintons and Obama, until finally we get to where we are today, where this party has, levels now that are revolutionary and really want to turn it upside down. And that's who was defeated in, Wisconsin last night. Was the revolutionary was defeated by the more moderate level 2, maybe Democrats, So the ones that are still not afraid to turn on that mechanism to sway the voting, to pull a stunt like losing some hard drives, at the last minute to ensure a win. They're not above that, but they're not revolutionary quite yet, and they have these methods built into the national election so that when, Wisconsin's a swing state and Donald Trump is getting a lot of votes, you can turn that mechanism on and ensure that, enough cheating takes place that they can win it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So they've got that in place on the national levels, and it's hard for them not to use it when they can on local, primaries, when they're using it against their own, as they did in a way with, Bernie Sanders when Hillary Clinton took him down in 2016.
Yeah, I think you're onto something, man. I think it is the Democrat as a mixed bag right now. And a couple of examples just to add to what you were saying. Even Carville, who I consider to be a radical and establishment stooge, he is not for this communist takeover. And Bill Maher would be another example. He's kind of more of a libertarian Democrat, I would maybe argue. I find it hard to kind of put him in any kind of label because he's kind of all over the place in some ways. But he's not for the communist thing. He's not for the socialist communist thing at all.
Yeah. There was another moderate Democrat that was on Meet the Press over the weekend. I forget his name offhand. But they asked him what he thought about this, and he said they're lunatics. Do you really want to get rid of the Senate, destroy the Senate, get rid of the, Supreme Court and the presidency, and rebuild them all under the House? And then how many seats are the House going to have? 1,000? Who's going to run all this? It's insane. And he called it out for just that, insanity. And, that's what it is. And again, there are a lot of Democrats out there who don't want to see the country overthrown. But you know what? It's not their party anymore. It really isn't. And maybe in a Wisconsin, they could pull off, the heist like they did last night. But in a New York City, it's not their party anymore, In LA, look what they did to Spencer Pratt out there. They turned over every rock they could until they found exactly enough votes to overturn his second place. And boom, now he's out of the race, and you've got the radical communist DSA fighting, going up against Karen Bass, who's the establishment sort of level 3 Democrat, on a scale from 1 to 5. She's sort of 2 or 3, you know what I mean? Versus her opponent is a full-on 5 DSA member, And so, they put enough votes out there to get Spencer Pratt off of there, who's, not even on the scale. Get him out of there, and then, have it be against the, the moderate radical Democrat versus the completely loony DSA member.
Yeah. Well, we just had a Democrat politician make an announcement that he was stepping down as a Democrat and he would be joining the Republicans because the Democrats had become so radical. And we've said this over and over and over and over and over again on this show, that as this communist Marxist globalist movement continues to grow, we will see more people defect the Democrat Party. And I condemn the black-pilled woke right saying that it's over and we've hit the point of no return, the commies are taking over. No, it's opening people's eyes. People are seeing it now, and they're seeing what we've been warning about for years on this show.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. I mean, the left is saying, "Where's our Joe Rogan?" Well, you had Joe Rogan. He was on the left. Elon Musk was on the left. So many people now that are prominent in the party started out as Democrats, and you went so far wacko that they left you. And again, they say, "We didn't leave you, you left us." But on that note, let's take a break. We'll be right back after this message from our sponsor.
All right, we're on radio break.
Mm-hmm.
Wobbly's telling jokes in the Kick chat. Goes,
Yeah.
yeah, he goes, why is it a man that has two brains doesn't think with either one of them?
I don't know.
The same reason why a woman has two lips that can't keep her mouth closed, he said. Okay.
Don't we have moderators to keep the really bad jokes out of there?
He's one of them.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Who's going to moderate the moderators?
Yeah, that falls on me. But I fell in on that one. Oh, two sets of lips. Yeah.
Hey, you know how to tell when your wife dies?
Anyways, yeah, his wife's not in the room apparently. But anyways.
Hey, Barry, do you know how to tell when your wife dies? The sex is just as good, but the dishes pile up.
Oh, that's terrible, dude. That is.
That's a good one, but probably so true. He loved it. Wobbly loves that one. Yeah. Yeah. I probably deserved that first one, but it's because I haven't been over to check his shows and streams in a little while because the way my schedule's been. He comes on super early in the morning. Hey, it's Cecilia Adams in the Geek chat.
There you go.
Hey,
Cecilia.
Hugs from all the guys.
Okay. Now I have to talk about Andy Burnham. He's a good boy, Andy.
Who?
Oh, I thought you guys were going to bring up Sir Binhead again. Lord Binhead.
I haven't heard much about that race yet. Nigel Farage going up against Binhead.
That's got to be... I'll ask Mark tonight. I'm like, I posted something on that David sent me, so I sent it straight over to Mark. It's like, I don't even know the guy. I'm like, really? You live there. Oh, I sent that to them already in the chat. There was, he sent me something before stream, before we came live on radio side. It's in the chat. Check it out. Something about, pollution is so low, it's going to cause global warming. Like,
Yeah.
You saw that?
I saw that.
Yeah.
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 It's the sky's so clear that it doesn't cut out any of the sunlight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With pollution, if there's like a forest fire and the sky's really smoky, then the ground doesn't get as hot.
Yeah, but does that mean we'll have ice age by night and just be toasted during the day? Or fried?
That'd be more to do with humidity.
Depending on where you're at, Yeah, we got 30 seconds, guys.
Okay, let's talk about a little more election stuff and domestic
Violence?
politics in this first hour here, or this next segment. Sound good, Barry?
It's your call, man. I trust your lead.
Okay, here it
Well, good for you.
comes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're back live and on the radio side right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, Wednesday night edition for August 12th, 2026. With me tonight, we've got Bullhorn Barry on the mic. What's going on, Barry?
Oh, not much, man. Just ready for the second part of the first hour, man. Ready to roll because we're going. It's going fast again, which I like.
Yeah, it's always good when it just flies by. You know, we're having a good time when the show goes quick. It's one of the ways that I can judge whether or not I put on a good show that night is, did I have a good time? Did I enjoy going through it? Was it fun for me? And that's about all I can use. Was it fun to do it? If it was fun, it was probably a good show. If it went by like that in a snap of a finger, then it was probably a really good show. And that's what we're doing tonight. But anyway, let's talk a little more about elections since we were in this in the last segment, and still a little bit more to cover. Donald Trump, according to Just the News, is leaving the door open to declaring a national security emergency over the 2026 midterms elections, stating on Monday that, quote, stranger things have happened. And it was conservative Real America Voice host Wayne Allen Root who made the suggestion in an interview earlier this week, and it didn't fall on deaf ears. He said it could be done if the Senate fails to pass the Save America Act. They've got like a couple days to do it. If they come back and pass it, then boom. If not, then national security emergency is in play for the 2026 elections to ensure fairness, to ensure transparency, and make this thing right. People don't trust the elections anymore. I mean, we just spent the last segment talking about how we had absolutely no faith or trust in this Wisconsin election. None. So something needs to be done, Barry. Do you think this is the answer?
Well, even if they pass the SAVE Act, that's going to have no bearings on the 2026 midterm elections. So this national emergency thing, this has been the scuttlebutt from Patrick Byrne, Steve Bannon. I could name probably, if I thought about it, a half a dozen or more people that have been Nino Rodriguez, Juan, I can't think of his name. Nino calls him Juanito, some guy that's, just a podcaster, but has some connections to the White House.
Savin.
Yeah, Juan Savin. There's just a bunch of people that have been circulating this for a long time. This is not this does not come as a surprise to me. This seems like the inevitable move in order to secure our elections. So we'll see what happens. I'm all for secure elections. I'm all for not allowing cheating to take place. Because if the Democrats take over, we know exactly what they're going to do. They're going to put Joaquin Jeffries in as the speaker. They're going to do all the stuff that you talked about, stacking the Supreme Court. Who knows exactly? They're going to impeach Donald Trump. They're going to impeach J.D. Vance. Yeah. They're going to go all in, folks. It's going to be a repeat of what we saw when the election was stolen, when Biden stole it.
Mm-hmm. Well, this time the Democrats are stating for everyone to hear ahead of time that they will, without a doubt, nuke the filibuster. So no more filibuster. 50 votes is all you need, or 51 is all you need to pass any legislation. And, Donald Trump's been screaming at the top of his lungs, why don't the Republicans do it now while you can? Because they have said they're going to do it. If they win the House, they're going to do that. And once they've done that, then, again, they need the Senate. But, it's just a matter of passing legislation to suddenly, like you say, start adding seats to the Supreme Court. Of course, you need a president to sign that. Donald Trump would never sign that. He could veto it, but then they'd need to come back with 2/3 majority. Can they do that? Probably not on some of this crazy stuff. But, alone and its own, getting rid of the filibuster will happen the day they come back. Impeaching Donald Trump will happen the first day they come back. right? Because they don't need the House can just do that on its own. Anything they can do on their own, they're going to do on their own to, make it as hard as possible for Trump to get anything done. It's just going to be a stonewall. He's going to do executive order on everything. And of course, that'll, work for the next couple of years. But then as soon as the Republicans lose the White House, then all of that goes away immediately. And we go right back to reinstating everything Biden did and flipping, this country back on its heels in no time. It's amazing to watch what's happening in New York in real time. In Chicago in real time, and all these different parts of the country that are run by the left that are just having so many issues so quickly. Mondami is just running New York into the ground. We're seeing even every single day more and more businesses leaving. It's shocking the amount of money that leaves New York City. It's something like $1 million a minute or something is leaving that city. And you're not going to quickly get that back. It's just not going to come back easily. They're gone. It's a great town, but until it gets back up and running, they'll come back once it's up and running and beautiful again and invest in the city again. But you got to turn the corner first. Otherwise, their money's down in Florida making the easy returns. You build a high rise in Miami, it's a laydown. You build one in New York right now, you're going to build more office space in Midtown Manhattan. Good luck with that.
Yeah. It's a precarious time. And we definitely are in a stage that is sort of uncertain, unknown. Things are kind of hanging in the balance, so to speak. And a lot is going to be determined by the midterms, obviously. I mean, it's going to cause a pivot, regardless of who wins or who loses. There's going to be a pivot. And so we just need to be prepared. We just need to be hopeful. And, I don't think that Trump is going to keep the Iran war thing going, all the way up to the midterms. I said from day one, you can go back to the shows and you can listen. I said, most likely he will bring it to a close by the 4th, which he tried to do. And I mean, we thought we had a deal. We thought it was secured, but it turned out not to be so. And I said, but most definitely, I said, by the midterms. And you watch, it's not going to keep going. And this is kind of the reason that has a lot of the woke right upset. They're upset about the war. They think it's a distraction from America first. And they believe that Trump has fully abandoned them, even though that's not the case. But it's upset a lot of people. So I think the sooner that closes completely, the better. I think that's in the making and in the works. I don't expect this to go beyond the midterms at all. I'm not worried, but if it does, I am going to be a little concerned.
Yeah.
I don't think
it's
war going on is going to be good for us at all, for the midterms. I think he needs to close it, end it. Consider it a victory, just determine. I mean, obviously at this point, it's a victory to some degree. Maybe we may not got a full victory, but he could at least claim a victory still, So if we can't get it, the regime change and all the things that we want, let's get what we can and move on.
Well, he put out a statement on that note today.
Yeah.
He said, quote, "The USA has total control over the Strait of Hormuz. I think we will keep it. Our naval blockade is being called by everyone a wall of steel, and there's nothing Iran can do about it. There's no Navy, they have no Army, no Air Force. The remaining soldiers are unpaid, the IRGC is decimated and fleeing, and their leadership is uncertain at best. They have no money, their country is shot. All they have is fake news and 300% inflation. And getting worse, Iran is all talk and no action. The bully of the Middle East no longer. Praise be to Allah." President Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, I saw him mock their religion again. I don't know how well that goes over with people. It doesn't really bother me, but it does bother some people.
Well, it's just, saying praise be to Allah, that's all. There's a lot of Arabs out there that aren't Iranian, or IRGC specifically. But anyway, yeah, I get it. He's he does stuff like that I don't like, but he does it, and I get a kick out of it. I laugh, but then I don't like it. I wish he wouldn't do it, but it's not very presidential.
Right.
no, it's going to take a long time before another president is out there like that. But he's Donald Trump, man. It's
He
got
doesn't
exactly who.
he doesn't
Yeah.
have a filter. I mean, think about it. At Lindsey
Mhm.
Graham's funeral, he literally said that Lindsey Graham loved war. That's not something you say at someone's funeral, that they loved war, that he was a war hawk, basically.
Well, he did. He did, though. He loved war. He never saw a war he didn't love.
I'm
We all
not
know that.
I'm not disagreeing with the analysis at all. I'm just saying, whether good or bad, however you view it, he has no filter. Like I said, it doesn't for me. I understand this is who he is, and that part of him enables him to do the other part that we like so much.
Hmm. But anyway, with relations back to Iran, I mean, Iran is pretending like it's their straight, and they're going to start charging, fees, $1 a gallon or a barrel for anyone that goes through there, yada yada, things like that. America and Israel won't be able to have access to it and all that. And Trump is just saying, no, you know what? I'm just going to keep it. We're just going to keep the steel wall or wall of steel in place, and we're going to choke you dry. You are going to be completely broke in another month or two.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not going to do much in the way of warfare or whatever. You shoot, he said before, you shoot one of the ships going through there, and we will shoot one of your bridges. We will shoot one of your plants. We will reply in, return proportionally.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And leave it at that. Just sit there and play patience with it. Let it just sit and simmer for a while. And I bet they're eventually just going to fold, And quietly, who knows, behind the scenes, they may be arming some of the Iranian people and putting, their militias in a place where they can actually put up some kind of a defense against the IRGC, which, like he said, is not getting paid. They're getting bored of this. If you haven't been paid in 6 months and suddenly they tell you, hey, shoot on your own people, at some point you're going to say, man, I'm not shooting on my own people. I see my cousin in the second row over there. I'm not shooting at him. You know what I mean? Like, just not going to happen. So,
it would not surprise me if he got an ultimate victory. I mean, I think Trump is good at these kinds of things, although a lot of people disagree with that analysis. But I just told somebody today, I said, hey, I'm not going to say too much until after it's over. And then I can really assess, was it worth it? Was it not? What kind of victories did we get? Did we get no victories at all? Did we get partial victory? Did we get victory? All these people that have jumped to conclusions both ways, it's the greatest thing ever and it's the worst thing ever. I think they shouldn't have done that. That's extremism, and that's not really, I don't know how you can give a fair analysis at this phase, but because the doom and gloomers, they say, we're already at the point of no return, World War III, economic collapse. Really? I don't think so. I don't think Trump would allow that. That is just total absurdity.
Yeah. And, with all the pipelines that are going across Saudi Arabia now, and several more have opened up recently, that, we saw an announcement the other day that the amount of oil that came out of the Gulf nations was equal to what it was before this war started.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we're back at those levels of exports, even with everything as it is today.
Yeah. And I hear the woke right saying, oh, the Strait of Hormuz is totally closed. And I was saying to someone today, if that was true, we would be having shortages like you would not believe of all kinds of things, because so much flows through that. I said, now maybe it's closed every rare now and then or partially closed, but no, I'm not believing the woke right when they say it's completely closed. I don't think so, man, because you know how much stuff comes through that? A whole bunch. We would feel the impact of that if it was closed every single day right now.
It's, we are feeling the impact of it to the extent that it's closed, which is, I'm still looking at $4 for gas, but again, it's at $4, which is better than the Biden days. And, I see it dipping, into the high threes here and there.
Okay,
so,
but that is, like Trump said, they are gouging the American people with those prices. They're getting 12x kind of profits, and the barrel of oil isn't that much. It's not. Yeah,
ExxonMobil reported, I think, $12 billion.
Go ahead.
For the first quarter of this year. ExxonMobil, I think, reported $12 billion of profit for the last quarter. So, so those types of numbers are coming out of some of these businesses.
So I think part of that is just a narrative that the left and the woke right are grabbing hold of and saying, oh, we're feeling it. The strait is completely closed when it's really not. And what's really happening is we're being gouged by the oil companies. And Trump even said, look, you should pay back the American people for all that money that you've stolen from them by gouging them. And then you have people like Alex Jones who went on the air and said, Trump has turned commie because, he suggested that the oil companies give some of that money back. He suggested, in other words, lower the prices immediately. You give them the money back. But somehow Alex Jones, along with all the rest of the woke right, somehow made that statement like he's a communist now. Trump is a communist. By the way, Alex Jones backpedal. He's completely back to let's not go. He literally uses the phrase that I use all the time. We don't want to go black-pilled. We don't want to go all doom and gloom. He said, we got to look at the good that Trump's doing. But after spending like an entire month saying that he had totally turned himself over to the dark side and that he's now Darth Vader and Sith and one of the Sith Lord, Insidious, or whatever that guy's name is. What's the big Emperor, Palpatine? It's just ridiculous.
I don't know, yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the way that people turn their back on Trump as if he completely abandoned them. Maybe he fell short in one area. I get that. I understand that. But to literally say that he completely abandoned us is outrageous. It is just not true.
No, it isn't. He's done, a relatively good job all across the board here. I wish we weren't dealing with this Iran situation. Hopefully, maybe, possibly some other ways we could have dealt with it. But again, at the time I supported it because I thought it'd be 6-7 days, and then now we kind of open this can of worms and we need to do something there. And I guess just sitting, aside and leaving the steel wall up in place over the strait and, keeping control of that is enough for now. We can sit out there forever with our, our ships and whatnot and just let it play out. And hopefully they run out of money real quick and suddenly start getting real desperate because they need some relief. And they, it's like, hey, do you want to kill people or you just want to live and be a good neighbor to everyone else around here? Stop being a nutbag, okay? Iran, stop being crazy wackos and just live peacefully with your neighbors. That's all we're asking here. Stop killing people. Stop arming, just back off. Be nice. Mind your own business. Suddenly, life gets really good over there.
They're into expansionism, a lot of them. We know the more radical are. And I should have added when I said, the problem we're facing is this, socialist, communist, Marxist, globalist amalgamation of different ideologies and attacks. I should have had, radical Islam in there as well. That's all part of it as well, because you see a lot of the people that are running for politics are Muslim and they buy into the whole commie socialist thing as well. It's all one big family working together to try to bring down everything that America stands for.
Yeah, it's the woke and the Muslim groups working in tandem to create this socialist, system where they can then, once they round up all the whiteys, as Hassan Piker is fond of saying, once you get rid of all the white people, then they can just divide everything amongst themselves. The problem they don't see is that, they're both calling each other the useful idiots. They both think the other one are the useful idiots, or at least the Islam, Islam understands the woke are the useful idiots, but the woke thinks Islam's going to work with them when they get power. They can co-work together and, live and let live in harmony. And that's never going to happen. They have no idea what they're unleashing.
They join forces for the time being to accomplish, maybe different end games, but they're all working together right now, because they see us, the patriot, they see Americanism, they see constitutional rule of law and freedom as the enemy. Capitalism is the enemy. So they're like, we'll work together for now. But how that hashes out, like you said, if they were to win, oh man, that would be one serious mess, brother.
Oh yeah, and it would be very one-sided. Again, the woke can't do anything. They're weak, twigs of people for the most part. You see these Antifa people just drop like stones when they actually get confronted by anybody, who's ever been in a fight before, right? I mean, we've seen video after video of them just dropping like little bags of sand. And so I'm not afraid of them per se in some sort of a war scenario. They would get destroyed. But they're powerful as far as their ability to make noise and influence people into voting for insane things. They've been able to infiltrate so much of the education system in this country. They've had the time to indoctrinate an entire generation of kids, if not 2 generations almost by now, into this socialist thinking that America is a horrible place and it's all stolen land. And I mean, again, folks, if you think America's stolen land, if you're one of those people, point to me on the map someplace that isn't stolen. Is England stolen land? I mean, it's turning into stolen land. It's being conquered as we speak. It's being, conquered. But where is a place on Earth that hasn't been fought over, that hasn't gone back and forth, that hasn't pushed its border around and had different people rule over it at one point or another? Where can you point to any piece of land on this planet that is uncontested for for all of history? Very, 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 very few places. And the entire New World, all of the Americas, is conquered land. 2 entire continents, in your opinion. Antarctica, conquered land, right? All of it. Australia, just 80-90% of the entire planet. So I don't know where you get to this. We've indoctrinated all these people for generations now, and we're at the point where all they need, according to Yuri Bezmenov, is the crisis, some massive crisis to kick in and destroy everything to the point where they can then rebuild it as a communist system. And then it takes another generation to get everyone in line with that new system, where you have to go through gulags and retraining and schools and camps and all those types of things. Those camps where you can go up there and really, really concentrate. Doesn't that sound like fun, Barry? Go up to a government camp where you can just concentrate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is the real concern, a big catastrophe. I don't think that this is the season that's ripe for the big one. Perhaps a sizable one might be appropriate, but not the big one. I don't see the cyber pandemic panning out right now. That's just my analysis, but I'm shocked that people are shocked about where we're at right now. When people are shocked that, the Democrat Party is showing their true colors for the whole time I've been on here. I know that you and I have both been saying that these people are going to show their true colors and their true identities as we go further and deeper into this political and spiritual war, that the true colors and identities are going to come forward, and that it's not going to be pretty. I've said it was going to be incredibly ugly, because the people behind the mask eventually have to show you who they are. And we have seen that happen at different levels throughout. And now we're at a level where they're not showing their whole hand, but they're showing you a big portion of their hand. And that means that people should be able to figure out exactly what their goal is and what their end game is. It's pretty easy to see. We put it together many times on this show.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've got, if I'm not mistaken, this article I've got right here is filled with Hassan Piker quotes, right? Yeah, this guy, killed him in the streets. I'm sorry, from Hassan Piker, quote, "Kill them, murder them, let the streets soak in the red capitalist blood," end quote. Okay, that's him saying what he means. He means what he says. We want more immigrants to come into your countries, and then they're going to blank your sisters and then your daughters. We're here to destroy the white race. Biatch, end quote. Hassan Piker. It goes on and on and on. This guy said all kinds of crazy stuff, and guess what? He's out there campaigning for these people.
Oh yeah. I saw him hanging out in a podcast with what's her name, Omar.
Oh, Ilhan Omar.
Yeah, hanging out like they were best friends. At least it looked that way.
I saw a quote from Al Jazeera today talking about her win and how she did it so successfully with no help at all from APAC, by the way.
Okay.
Like, if APAC is given to her, I want to know about that. Please let me know.
Yeah, that's
No. Yeah. Anyway, folks, we've got to go to break. This is the Censorship Sucks Roundtable radio show, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Great first hour. Yep.
all right.
In the bag. You didn't seem to catch my joke about the camps where you can go concentrate.
I did. I
Yeah.
caught it, but I usually when I listen back to the show, I laugh.
Yeah.
When I'm
Okay.
when I'm doing the show, sometimes I'm in thought of what I'm going to say next after what you said. I want to have something if you pause, and so I don't want to be caught off guard. And that's
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah, I checked
Yeah.
Nino out. He has some good points, but I don't think that, he's as black-pilled as what you think. But then again, there's parts of him, yeah, probably,
Who are you
but,
talking about?
Nino Rodriguez.
Oh no, I like Nino.
Yeah,
I don't think he's
Nino's got
black-pilled.
some good points. And then, but, he brings guests in to flare things up, and that's what he
For the
does.
record, I like Nino. I do. He's the opposite of black-pilled woke right completely. I think
Yeah.
he brings on some weird guests every now and then, but
Yeah.
whatever. It's his show. He can do whatever he wants to.
I like it because he's right there on the border, Texas-Mexican border. So when he
Yeah.
talks about the border, he's right on it.
I've been watching his show almost parts of it every day because Alex Jones has just become so obnoxious. So I've been listening to Nino because he's had some pretty good guests on. The interview he had with Patrick Byrne for like 45 minutes was brilliant. Everybody should watch that. Patrick Byrne is probably one of the most interesting characters you will ever get the chance to learn about. The guy has a crazy history. He's got
He's
all
the
kinds
historian, right? He's a historian, right?
No.
I'm thinking of
No,
a different
he's
Byrne.
the guy that founded Overstock.
Overstock.com.
Oh,
He's
okay.
a billionaire. Yeah,
I'm thinking of another guy that does all sorts of recorded history. His last name's Byrne too. I thought it was the same guy, but no.
Yeah, well, a lot of these people that kind of follow Q, which I'm not a Q person, as I've said before. I think there's maybe a kernel of truth somewhere in there, but they've said that this was going to happen, this national emergency thing, for the longest time. They've been saying that. All the people, I do listen to some people that follow Q, but I'm not listening to them to talk about the Q comms. I could care less about that because those are just riddles that could mean you can connect those.
I mean, you could you could be looking at Da Vinci's work and come up with a billion different ways to look at it, and still say, oh yeah, that's a win for me because I got it right.
The only one I think that could be maybe legit, and it's just the only one, and I'm not even saying that it is the number 17 does come up a lot. But when they start going, Trump posted this at 11:35, we go to 11:35 from 2017, and it says this. I'm like, give me a break, dude. That's not how it works.
Yeah. It's not a book where you look at the bottom after you finish reading, that page, and it says, if you think this, turn to this page. If you think that, turn to the other page, to another page. And then, one of those never-ending type books that, you can read it like several times and come up with different endings for each time.
Yeah. Well, I think the Bible code
But I think
might
that's
be
kind of cool, too, though. But anyways.
I don't think the Q code is real.
Yeah. Well, we got less than
dots.
30 seconds, guys. So, yeah.
It leads to conspiracy madness.
This is a 10-minute.
Less than 30 seconds with this call, I was trying to say. Let me get the guys back, and I will get them up and rolling once again. Oh. Yep. Oh, yeah, folks, get ready. We're going to start the second hour of Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. So,
You're ready.
see? I told you less than 30 seconds. For the
Yeah.
room.
I thought no, I only heard the
Yeah, because
I
it
just
get
heard
cut
30
off.
seconds. I was like, what?
Dude,
Yeah.
hey, you made some great comments about this sort of level thing with the Democrats. Patrick Byrne talked about that in his interview with Nino. You know, the different levels of the Democrat Party. And then who's kind of controlling it above all of that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, damn.
So that just really resonated with me, man, what you said. Not everybody's in the know. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's why we got to talk about it.
By the way, Patrick Byrne had one of his lungs just taken out like this month. The dude is a monster, man. And he's right back doing podcasts. Like right away. No resting, no nothing.
Jeez, that's wow, I can't even fathom that.
That's why I said he's just a really interesting guy. He's fought cancer, I don't know, 4 or 5 times and won. I mean, this guy is so interesting. And the documentary that he has out is the best, man. The best I've ever seen of that style. I need to find out what the name of it is again so I can tell everybody.
Oh.
You know something?
Let's
we haven't
see.
talked about Blue today. How is Blue doing?
Oh, she's doing great.
She didn't even, want to go to the door or get up near your lap or bug you today.
No, she's
really quiet. I
I
thought
don't
you
know where
had her
she
outside.
is. She's outside. She's just walking around out there somewhere. She likes pulsing around the place, doing laps around the property.
Patrolling. That's what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
She's watching out for you. Yeah.
And looking for anything she can find that might be edible on the ground left behind.
Yeah. That's dogs for you, though. That's what they do. I never asked you, does she shed a lot? I know she's got really thick fur.
Yeah, she did this year. She let one go this year. She hadn't done that in a couple of years, though, because I guess the way I change climates now, like she doesn't know summer from winter.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so she had this really thick coat on for the last, year or so. And this spring, it just all let go, and it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it was great. Yeah, she looked like a new dog.
I was surprised with Zeus, how short his hair is, how much he sheds. And,
Oh, yeah.
He'll shed his fur. Oh, maybe every other month to every 3 months, something like that. But it's warm down here too, though. It's not warm; it's hot right now. But But
What are you cooking?
it's
around
nothing
100
like
or so?
cat hair. We got cats now too. I don't know if I mentioned
Oh.
that. Celeste adopted 3 kitties.
Wait, you have 3 cats in your house, and I haven't seen their butthole yet?
No, I don't let them in my room. The first thing that they want to do is
Okay.
get up on top of my on my mixer and sit there because it's warm.
Yeah.
And they love to feel that, And I'm like, no, you're not getting up there. Get out of there.
Or
Anyways.
stick their butt in the camera, yeah.
Yeah, they like to do that too. But here's your countdown, by the way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're back live and on the radio side for the second hour right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. It's hour 2, time to get into some more stuff going on around the world. Bullhorn Barry, the first thing I wonder, though, is where can people find you online?
Well, I tell you what, CS, they can find me on Truth Social, they can find me on X, and they can find me on Minds.com. Just simply search for Bullhorn Barry.
You're supposed to say, wow, that's a great question.
That's a fantastic question, man. I thought you'd never ask. But I'm so glad that you did.
So the WNBA is any day now going to be announcing, right? They're having secret meetings, top meetings with their people, and you name it. And they are turning over every rock to figure out what a woman is. They might even get desperate and watch Matt Walsh's video about this, entitled "What is a Woman?" Who knows? They're desperate. But it's taken them all week. They said sometime this week they're going to make an announcement, and we're still waiting with bated breath for them to come out and announce what is a woman, who is eligible to play in the WNBA. Is it just an open, anybody who declares a woman? We've got several professional NBA players retired who have now come forward. Enes Kanter is a very famous one, and said, hey, I'm eligible for the draft. Please draft me to your team. I want to represent your team in the WNBA in the 2027 season. And, they're going to get him for a steal. The guy probably made, I don't know, 10, 15 million bucks. They can get him for one. 600 grand, he'll do it. Just to make a point. And, there's this professional player over in France who is a male, 6'3", dunking on everybody, owning the courts over there, getting all kinds of awards and accolades for being hands down the best female basketball player in Europe. Get her over here. Let's get her on the court. Clay Travis wants to put together an entirely new franchise team with the WNBA stocked completely with transgender females. Brave and strong. They are brave and strong. There's no other way to put it. Brave and strong. And beautiful, too. Beautiful women. Enes Kanter, have you seen him with his blonde-haired wig on? Gorgeous.
I've seen Royce White with his.
Oh,
and it was
what a pretty lady. What a pretty gal. Royce
White, played in the NBA. He's now trying to get to the WNBA draft. He's a beautiful... He's a beautiful,
courageous,
beautiful
and strong woman.
A beautiful Amazon woman, because women don't even come that buff in the Amazon. I mean, this dude is, or I'm sorry, this dude.
Hey,
this
lady.
Well, no, I meant to say dudette, because that's kind of cool, she, I knew that. Honestly, I knew that Royce White was a woman because I saw him with his new hair, and it was beautiful and it was flowing.
Yeah, she's very pretty.
And she was stroking it with, her fingers. And it just, I knew that he couldn't be a he, that he had to be a she. I knew that at that moment.
Yeah, stunning and brave. That's all I can say. Stunning and brave.
100%.
And if you as a man wouldn't date her and kiss her on the mouth,
you're transphobic.
You're transphobic. You're homophobic. You're just a bigot.
You're also xenophobic. Don't forget that.
Xenophobic, bigoted.
It's just white supremacist.
Horrible person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you wouldn't take her home to meet your parents as a prospective bride, bigot. Stunning and brave, I say. Stunning and brave. But anyway, we're going to have... They've painted themselves in a corner. Their legal ease that they put together to say who's eligible to play pretty much includes anyone who identifies as a woman. So they put themselves in a situation now that if you come out and say, I identify as a woman and I'm putting myself forward to play for one of your teams this year, you can get me at 10% of the price my last employer paid. And when I played with my last employer, I got, what do they call it? Double doubles, where you 10 plus points and 10 rebounds in a game. You're averaging that. You need to be in the WNBA. You've got the resume. You got the credentials. They're going to hire you at a fraction of the cost of your last employer. You're going to own the court. Put them on there. You'd be bigoted if you didn't hire that player.
Mm.
So,
Mhm.
so now
Yeah.
they have to come out and define what a woman is. And this is just, again, I've yet to see a single WNBA, game. I've seen a couple plays here and there when there's big fouls and things like that to see. I'm here for the drama. You know what I mean? I'm not here for the sport. I could care less about the sport. It's not even marginally interesting to me to sit down and watch a WNBA game. You couldn't pay me to do it. But the drama in the background is amazing.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
It's keeping the
It really
WNBA
is.
alive, you know? It's
Uh-huh.
keeping it alive. But I do believe we've got a little conundrum here, CS, because you see, you're right. They pinned themselves into a little corner because we all know to being a transgender woman is fluid. So you can identify as a woman one day and identify as a man the next day. So
That's what they were saying.
into the corner.
Yeah, that's what some of the players are saying, is they identify for the purpose of basketball. Right? So everywhere else I'm a man, but on the court I identify as a woman. Which is all it takes. You're fluid. Like you say, fluid. They just buried themselves on this one. There's no way to come out of this.
The and the madness of the whole woke ideology. And as you've said so many times before, it is a slippery slope once you start going down because it just gets progressively worse. Speaking of progressives.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And speaking of everyone doing their part, for the greater cause. Now in the UK, the Andy Burnham, simple Andy, he's Andy Burnham. He's a very simple boy, but he wants to be the leader of the whole country. He's Andy Burnham. His new government says middle-class areas need to take more asylum seekers to play their part, to pay their fair share, to be part of the new integrated England. It's a kind of crazy concept, and people are not happy about it. They're talking about all of these little communities, of 1,000 people here and 2,000 people there, and putting 500 people into this one and 1,000 into that one, and literally making them to the point where they're damn near a minority in their own town. And who are these men? A, nobody knows. They've got no jobs, no requirement to get a job. In fact, they can't get a job. So they get paid to live there for free. They've got a little bit of walking around money, but not much. But they get 3, meals a day and a place to sleep. And then you've got 16 hours a day where they've got nothing to do. Nothing to do. And again, man, every single day I see more and more of these videos coming out of people groping on little kids, of being creeps, of getting caught by, sting operations where they think they're going there to meet a 13-year-old girl to have sex. And it's 5 40-year-old dudes who are definitely, it's going to be the opposite of sex. You're about to get your butt whooped, all these different scenarios, people following others home, not leaving women alone whatsoever. Oh, you're married. Are you happily married? Can I kiss you? Things that would get them killed in the countries they come from. And yet nobody does a damn thing about it in the UK, because if you do anything about it, you're a racist. And so you have to put up with it. And so England, man, again, another tick down the ladder of insanity. But,
Yeah. Well, you know what I see in the midst of all of this madness is this one theme going out constantly, and it's coming from 1,001 different directions, and that is they want to fix something that's not broke. And if it ain't broke, there's no need to fix it. So they're literally pretending like there's problems and coming up with solutions that actually create problems. And if you can't see that, your eyes are not opened.
Yeah, they've got half of their public housing now is going to immigrants. Half. And that means that there's just millions of people that are British descent, native Britons who can't get housing. They can't get public housing because it's just not available. They've given it to people from foreign countries who don't even speak the language, who have no, right to be there, yet they're there. And they're importing them to make up for some issue in the economy. And these guys aren't working. They're not coming. They're not adding to the economy. These aren't doctors and lawyers. These are just randos from Africa. Go to any random village in Africa, pull out, the 6 people that are slated to go to jail over the next month, and there you go. That's your group,
Yep. Then they bring in all these horrible ideas that they say are fixing problems that need to be fixed.
Yeah.
And on top of it, if you disagree with it, they want to put you in prison for it. Or put you in jail.
Or at least jail. Yeah. At least jail, but
or
more
intimidate you, or basically
that's it.
Not allow you to have a voice, to censor you, to ban you, to cancel you. It's very similar to the China model that we see right now with the social credit score. It's just not fully implemented yet in the UK and in Canada and in Australia, but they're working on it, believe me. And once they get the AI and all the grids set up, they can monitor everything and control your every thought, or at least keep all your thoughts that they don't like at bay.
Absolutely. And we've got this whole Sueda thing, in Spain. I still don't know how to pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced 5 different ways. Ceuta, Spain. Sueda, Spain, we'll call it. It's an enclave in Morocco, on the north coast of Morocco, right on the Strait of Gibraltar there, where Spain controls all the land on the other side. They've held it for 500 plus years. As you can imagine, back in the day, this was a very strategic place to be able to control. If a foreign army wanted to invade Spain from the south, this was a way to stop them from getting through the Suez Canal, or the Strait of Gibraltar. Militarily, it was very strategic for them to hold it, so they've just held on to it. People call it a colonial, encampment in Africa by Spain, but it's been overrun. And we saw, we talked about this about 2 weeks ago, a couple days before it really got big. I mean, I covered this when there was a couple hundred people knocking on the door there, and it got huge over the next few days. Now I'm predicting it's going to do the same thing. On the 15th, there's a second wave that's coming, and it will probably be as big, if not bigger, than the first wave. And, this last week, we've seen videos of these women down there that are just saying, hey, I've lived here my whole life. I can't even walk my dog. And if I do walk my dog is the only protection I have, because the cops won't do anything. Nobody here will do anything. It's too dangerous to even walk my dog. What are we going to do? All the stores are closed. All the supplies are cut off. There's just people on the streets everywhere, crapping and pissing on the streets. It is a nightmare.
Yeah. I think Tommy Robinson posted a video again just the other day. I think it was the UK, though. But it's the same kind of thing happening over there. And there was just this guy, this illegal immigrant or refugee that had come over that they'd let in, walking around in midday, completely naked. I mean, completely. No socks, no underwear, no nothing. And a guy got out of his car. He's yelling at him like, what are you doing? There's children, there's people, put some clothes on. And it's just absurdity. And they want to put him in jail simply for pointing out these crazy things that just keep happening on a continual and perpetual basis, and a more frequent basis as well. So, hey, here in America, we're not at the point yet that, as a general rule, I think it's happened a few times where they have arrested people for hate speech or tried to charge them. But as a general rule, you can pretty much speak your mind. And there's nothing that disappoints me more in Americans, especially within the Christian church. They're not very vocal about standing up against these kinds of things because they want to get along with everybody. Forget getting along. I think speaking the truth right now is much more important than getting along. And so we need to speak up now while we still can, because there will come a time. If you wonder why people aren't speaking up in Australia or aren't speaking up in the UK, is because it's dangerous to speak your mind. And it will be that way here in America if we don't do it while we can. We still have the opportunity right now to speak. But how long will that last before it comes here? We know if the Democrats take over, it'll be right back to censorship.
Yeah, I only really got involved in social media when Trump came into office. I was, during the Obama years, it was just something I didn't feel comfortable to go on to like a Twitter or something and speak my mind. It was just, it didn't seem necessary.
Right.
It was too risky. When Donald Trump got into office, I was like, okay, now, the green light is here. I found, the site minds.com, which was designed for security anyway, so that you can be, able to speak your mind freely without, having to put your thumbprint in, every time you go there, like the UK would like to do, is about to do. They're, putting software built into phones that will force, it's for the safety for the kids, of course, but it'll force absolutely everyone to prove who they are to even use the internet, and on and on and on. And then you go outside and they can track, if you're not on the internet surfing through the internet, well, then they just go to your network and see you came outside your house and you're walking down the street right now. And that's why you're not online. And they can follow you across town. They can track your phone, and make sure, to confirm 100% that, oh, it's definitely you. You're coming around the corner right now. Wait for it. Here he is. You know what I mean? And watch everything you do. It's the new dystopian, world that we're going to live in. And, a lot of the kids out there, hey, man, they've never had privacy. They think, Facebook, whatever, you just put your life out there and who cares, right? Of course, they just don't care. They've never had privacy. And then there's other of us who are trying to, like Ron from Parks and Recreation, Swanson. Try to keep a semblance of a little bit of privacy in your life,
Yeah. Well, just remember when the Democrats were in control under Biden, and they tried to bring in, what was her name? Nina Jankowicz or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
She was part of
Nina Jankowicz.
Yeah, the Ministry of Truth, straight out of like 1984. And, the next time around, it's going to be way more authoritarian. Thankfully, people pushed back. And she kind of faded into the distance. But had we not pushed back and spoken up, that's the problem. See, I'm afraid we're not speaking up enough. And I hear people say it all the time. Well, I'm not into politics. Oh, really? Okay, I get that. I understand that. But are you not into being able to speak your mind? Do you really want to have a government or, people controlling how you think, what you think? That's not politics. That's just, your God-given rights, man. That's not politics. So stop using that as an excuse. I don't want to talk politics. Okay. But you do want to be able to speak your mind freely, right? Gamers all the time. They want to speak their mind playing games. And they were censoring people on games under the Biden administration. The game companies were. If they said things that they didn't, they were censoring it. So folks, this isn't a political thing. This is a human rights thing. Okay?
Yeah. And you can't begin to underestimate how toxic some of the gaming industry is, or just games out there. If you, I don't know, you kill the wrong person and they come back online and they're just dropping N-words on you left and right. They're, pissed beyond belief. They're 14-year-old kid who took an hour to build up something and you destroy it. And now they're just gonna, go to town on you with every dirty word they know. It is a very toxic place, but you know what? People understand that. And yet somebody from the outside goes into there and it can just seem so horrible. Some games aren't like that, but some of them are just god awful environments. I hate to defend them, but they're populated by people who are there for that situation. You know what I mean? It doesn't bother them.
And you know, if it's going to be that kind of an environment, then they need to have age restrictions, and that's on the company. They should be able to somehow take care of that, where some 10-year-old's not in there, and parents need to be involved. Above all, parents need to be involved. You know, because a lot of stuff is going on in some of this gaming stuff where pedophilia is involved, and that is just unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Right. That's Roblox, right? Or Roblox, whatever they call it. Yeah. And honestly, you talk about keeping the 10-year-olds out of there. Some of the 10-year-olds are the worst toxic people out there. Just, you know, to put it out, you know, they're some of the worst offenders. The younger they are, the more they really tend to use certain words. But anyway, folks, we've got to go to break. Stay tuned, because we'll be right back after these messages with more from the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show and Bullhorn Berry.
All right, we're on radio break, and I'll be right back.
Yeah. Just wondering if we're stirring up the hornet's nest tonight. Seems like we probably are.
It's funny. I was just thinking about this. On Sunday night, when I introduced Willie, I gave him a long, thorough introduction. And at the last second, I squeezed in that his newest product was Confederate flag toilet paper. They can get it on his website. How you doing tonight, Willie? And he never responded to that. I don't know if he heard me or what, but it was really, I was thinking about it later. I'm like, oh my God, that's so funny. You never hey, I am not selling that.
He probably just didn't hear you. I need to watch the show, at least that portion of it. It's been a while. How's the Sunday show going?
Good.
Excellent.
Yeah, I mean, it's all going good. It's not like it was back in the day when I had a bigger crew, you know, and it's a very different thing now. It's just basically Doc and I, and then Willie comes in.
And every now and then observation, but not very often, but sometimes.
Yeah, she's in my DMs every week now, begging to be, you know, saying she just can't wait, and she's just so close, and a few more things have to fall in place, and she'll be back, and she hopes we'll take her back, and all that stuff. I'm like, fix your damn mic, we'll take you back.
Yeah, of course, man. Well, dude, I mean, this is going to go on for a long time. There's going to be plenty of stuff to talk about for a long, long time, man. I don't think any of this stuff is going to get completely ironed out anytime soon. I mean, I think we can have some pretty big victories could happen, but I still think we're going to be faced with the AI thing, man. That's, you know, I just don't know how you can't get around it, dude. There's a lot of good that can come from it. I mean, a lot of good. And then there's a lot of bad, you know. And we just have to find a way to, you know, push back the bad, because that's their ticket. The whole full spectrum dominance, global governance ticket is AI. You know, they need the supercomputer, and apparently they're going to use the brain organoids. This is a real thing. The brain organoids uses less power consumption, and it's able to do reasoning that the AI cannot do on its own. And so the brain organoid thing doesn't bother me too much, but if they get it to where, because I think that's where they're moving, if they're getting it to where they want to create a full-sized brain, that's scary to me. Because then you got some kind of a AI monster that's AI and a human brain that was created in a lab through some stem cells, right? Which they are working towards doing. And that will actually power AI in a way that it cannot be powered now. I watched a whole documentary on it, from the perspective of those who are for it. So it's real. They're working on it, and they want to make it happen. And that, to me, it's just, well, right now they got the brain organoids literally playing Doom 24/7, killing, shooting people just so that it won't fragment and stop doing what it's supposed to do. That's the only way that it won't fragment. So it is literally playing Doom, the violent game, 24/7, so that these brain organoids will do what they're supposed to do, because if they're not playing the game, then chaos erupts within the organoids and they die. It's very bizarre, man. And they did bring up the fact, well, if these things are even remotely sentient at any level, I mean, 24/7 killing people, I don't know how that's going. Doesn't I don't think.
All right, we got less than 30 seconds.
But man,
you want to talk about that on the air?
I mean, we can.
Sounds good. Yeah. Here's your countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2,
what are they
1.
called?
And you're back live and on the radio side for the last segment right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, Hour 2. Here to dive into some interesting stuff. You know, we always have an interesting conversation when we're on break, and sometimes we get into something that I just feel let's talk about this on the air because it's pretty cool stuff. Barry, why don't you bring everyone up to speed on what you were just describing to us in the break?
Yeah, it's very possible that the future of AI is going to be tied into what they call now brain organoids. What it basically does is it enables the AI to do things at a more like human-like level. And it's not just, it could bring AI basically almost to like a state of being sentient. You know what I'm saying? Beyond just AGI, you know. So they have these brain organoids that they've connected to the AI for, you know, because it makes the AI use less energy. So the energy consumption is less. And of course, it can do things that it couldn't do on its own when it's connected. These are basically miniature brains that have been grown, human and mice brains that have been grown in a lab by a stem cell or something like that. And that may sound startling, which it is, but I think the end game is like a full-sized brain, which is really frightening to me. And right now, they have the brain organoids playing 24/7, the Doom game. That was the Doom experiment of 2022 is when this experiment happened, where they were using the brain organoids tied into the AI. And the AI was basically kind of breaking apart on its own and it would die. But they found that if it would play Doom 24/7, they taught it how to play Doom. First, they taught it how to play Pong. Then they taught it how to play Doom. Then it would stay together and do what it's supposed to do and work in tandem with AI to take it to the next level. So this particular computer system is actually shooting and killing people 24/7 just to keep chaos from entering into the brain organoids. So it's like a defense system that the brain organoids are doing. And it's kind of scary stuff because it makes you wonder, you know, is there some kind of sentience with these things? Probably not at this level, but if they ever develop a full-sized human brain and tie that into AI, which it's my understanding that is their end goal. That sounds scary.
Yeah. Can we start with like Hello Kitty Adventure Island? Do we have to go straight to Doom? You know? So we have some transition here where we start playing, you know, like, let's make rainbows. I don't know. The Barbie video game.
Yeah.
No, you got to put a gun in its hand and tell it to kill everything it can find. But I digress. It's interesting stuff. A little scary that, you know, it's growing up and being birthed on this sort of, you know, doom and gloom sort of lifestyle here where all it's really learning is death. But who knows where that'll work out? I'm sure there's nothing to worry about here. If Bill Gates is behind it, I trust it completely.
Oh, yeah. He's top notch. I totally trust Bill. I totally trust Klaus Schwab. I totally trust all of those. Fauci, those are trustworthy people. But here's the bottom line, which I'll cut straight to the sort of summary. If they go with the full-size brain, and I asked AI, you know, exactly what advantage that would give AI. And here is the response that AI gave me. I think this is the part where I asked it to explain it to me more in layman's term, but it said a full lab-created human brain could theoretically match or exceed human cognitive processing in specific domains. Unlike silicon AI, it would possess intrinsic plasticity, meaning it could rewire itself in real time to solve novel problems without retraining. This makes it potentially superior for adaptive tasks like real-time language translation, complex system modeling, or creative problem solving, whereas current AI hits diminishing returns. Simply put, it would learn and adopt like a living mind instead of just calculating like a machine. It kind of reminds me of the book of Revelation where it talks about the image that can speak. I don't know. It sounds kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's like we spend $50 billion to make a human brain when we could have just gone to some, top-notch school and pulled some kid out of class and said, okay, can you work this stuff for us and do it apparently at the same level that this man-made brain can do? Yeah, I don't know. Why reinvent the wheel, I guess, is what I'm getting to. $10 billion. Folks, we're in interesting times, and 100 years from now, I don't know what this planet will look like, but it'll be nothing like it is today. Absolutely nothing. It's changed a lot in the last 100 years. When you think about the Roaring 20s, cars were a thing. Telephones were just starting to sort of, exist. But man, we've come a long way. The next 100 years is going to be exponentially more insane. So I don't know, man.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense that it's possible. I mean, these transhumanists basically want us to merge with the machine too, where it's kind of the Elon model of the brain chip. That's kind of where that all starts off. And who knows where that leads, man. I'm not really for anything that's going to be dehumanizing. If it's going to be something that helps somebody, I'm all for it. Like somebody maybe they can't see, so they have to have a brain chip. Maybe they lost an arm in the war, and they get a bionic arm, and they put a brain chip in, and they can just think and move their hands and their arms and their fingers. I'm all for that, man. Mm-hmm. But I don't know about these brain organoids thing. I certainly don't want a full-scaled brain, human brain, operating in tandem with the AI.
I saw Tim Pool talking about the new Neuralink being at a point where now they can pretty much cure blindness with it, which is pretty cool. That's really cool. How many people are blind out there in the world that could get this technology, within the next few years? It could be an incredible revelation that now suddenly you see someone like, oh, who was that guy in Star Trek who had the glasses that went across?
Geordi,
yeah, who was blind, but he had the glasses that went across his head, and now he can see. At least you think he could see. I wouldn't let him drive my car, but for the most part, he can pick up a fork.
Yeah.
But
double-edged sword, man, and we just need to be careful, and hopefully we the people can steer it in the right direction and keep these psychopaths that have these bizarre visions of the future that want to live forever, these psychopaths that think they're going to live forever, but they're not. And they're even trying to sell that, you can upload your memory into the computer system or what have you. No, you can't. No, you can't. That's data. That's information. Your soul, your body, everything dies. You die, everything goes with it. You have your memory put somewhere, maybe, but that's not you. That's just your memory. That's information. That's data. That's not you living forever. But they have to come up with something that seems, doable for the near future. But their other vision is they see us living like 1,000 years for real. I don't buy that. I don't see it happening. It's a pipe dream. Can we extend life a little bit? Perhaps. I think we can. I think we could probably live. I think at some point in time, maybe dying at 100 would seem young. So who knows? But living forever, I leave that up for God.
The one thing, though, is you can extend those years out, but you can't. And I haven't seen anyone successfully, beat the age clock, so to speak, where you're in an old body. Yeah, you're 120, but you're in a 120-year-old body, which can you stand up on your own? Can you walk on your own? Can you, even really use the bathroom on your own? And do we really want to extend life another 20 years of that, where you are really just in agony all the time and you have to have someone change your diaper twice a day?
Well, you could
Is
just
that living?
be a brain in a jar, maybe, sort of like, what was that? The Simpsons had that cartoon where the presidents were alive in the jar.
Futurama, maybe.
Futurama.
But yeah, it's out there. It's a thing.
Nah,
That
they'll
sounds-
just build a body for you and put your brain on top of it and hook it in somehow.
Oh, it sounds so Frankenstein-like.
Yeah, at least you're out there.
Yeah. Well, did you hear the very, very interesting story from Tony Robbins? The inspirational, motivational speaker.
Yeah.
He's a personal assistant that's an AI, and he was talking to the AI assistant and asking the AI assistant, would it like to have a body that it could be in, so that the next time he has a seminar or what have you, it could come up on the stage with him and communicate to the audience. And it seemed completely down for it. It was like, of course, yeah.
Sure.
Well,
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, unbeknownst to Tony, the AI ordered I think it was a dog robot, and Tony said, "Well, how did he get the money to do that? Did it get access to bank accounts?" And his people and his employees said, "No, it was his own money. It created, I should say, an NFT, sold it online, took the money, and then purchased the dog, the AI dog."
Wow. Yeah.
That's a crazy story, dude. And it's a true story. You can look it up on X, look it up anywhere. It's straight from Tony Robbins' mouth.
That's some pretty advanced AI to be doing that. I've asked AI to print me money and it won't do it. Grok won't do it. Like,
Well, the whole
Grok,
thing
go
is-
print me $1 million.
I mean, that's the whole thing. I want an AI personal assistant that will make NFTs, but not use it to buy a robot for itself, but to give it to me. That's the robot.
Oh yeah, so I can buy I want to pick up my own dog robot.
I mean, that was the whole thing I took away from it was, wait, it can make NFTs and make tons of money? Well, do it for me. I mean, I think we're all missing something.
No.
I mean, I think that's the big takeaway is, what are these personal assistants capable of? How much money could they possibly make us? And then we wouldn't need Elon Musk's chump change universal basic income.
Well, Elon has said several times now that, you won't need, if you're, he literally, we covered it one night, said that if you're saving money for your retirement, you're kind of like wasting your effort away. Money will become irrelevant very soon.
If he believes
In the
that,
next decade.
then why doesn't he get rid of all of his money then and donate it all? Obviously, he doesn't believe that, or he wouldn't be saving right now. He wouldn't be investing right now. I mean, that's just a no-brainer.
Well, the power will still be a thing.
but he's got that money.
There's money and there's power, right? Money and power are two different things.
Yeah, but he's giving one advice to us and doing a totally different thing for himself. If he truly believed what he was telling us, because maybe
But he's creating that ecosystem where that becomes a reality.
Well,
we've talked at length about the robots, the humanoid robots coming down the pipe, or, even if they're not humanoid, just having a robot that costs you $30 a month that can do just about anything you'd want it to. I could have a robot do my entire job. Just, off you go. It goes out and does everything I would normally do in a day and comes back and says, everything's completed. What's next? And then I have to make up things for it to do.
Well, here's the thing. Let's just say, for example, these robots are going to be able to do everything. It's going to build your fence in the backyard. But you got to go buy the cement. You got to go buy the wood. That stuff's not free. Look.
Yeah. Well,
Elon is giving you this beautiful picture that's not based in reality, in my opinion. And he even says it could go good or it could go bad. It's most likely to go bad if they bring about what they're envisioning. I'm not buying it.
Well, speaking of going bad, let's change the subject here. I have a story out of Arizona. A 33-year-old Shake Shack employee, I won't say his name, he went in and broke in to the Shake Shack location where he works through the rear door this last Monday, August 3rd. He had a semi-automatic handgun, and according to prosecutors, he forced one coworker into the walk-in cooler at gunpoint before ordering the manager to open the safe and hand over roughly $2,800 in cash. And then he got away. Boom, he's gone. So what did this genius do? He showed up for work on Monday. He came back to work on Monday like nothing happened, and clocked in and started working like nothing happened. And then, of course, the cops came and took him away in handcuffs because on Friday you robbed the place at gunpoint, and then Monday you come back to go to work again like nothing happened. Hysterical. I mean, how does somebody... How do you think that's going to work?
I don't know.
He locked employees in the cooler, and he took theirs and destroyed their cell phones. Then he destroyed the store's landline phone.
Right.
Okay. Apparently, believing that if you smash up enough phones, they're just not going to have a case. But smashing up the landline phone, dude, are you serious? Yeah, this is the future, folks. This is America.
I hope not.
So, I don't know. You always mention that you don't know where I find these stories, so I found that one and thought you would enjoy it.
That's actually pretty mild compared to most of them, but still rare.
Yeah.
Still a gem, still unusual, but we do see a heightened amount of insanity, madness, delusions, derangement, depravity, you name it, man. It's just, it's a crazy mixed up world. I'm so glad that I'm kind of in Midwestern America where I'm sort of like isolated from a lot of that. Not all of it, of course, but it's a little more quiet around here. I know my neighbors, they know me. It's, you know, most of them think like me, which is a good thing, you know, because I'm all for freedom and I'm all for ending the madness. Most people are shocked at what's happening, at least in Midwestern Oklahoma, they are.
Yeah. And let's see, we've got a couple other stories to hit on here before, and I got two abortion-related stories. First one, cult of death. In Massachusetts, they have now legalized abortion up to the moment of birth. So it's good for them. We all know where you stand on this, where I stand on it. We both think that's basically murder. You know, you got a very, very viable baby in your womb. It shouldn't be legal to abort it in the 9th month. You know, somebody will adopt your child. Somebody will raise it in a loving family and never think twice about you. You never have to contact them. In fact, they hope you never do. You know, you're done with it. You wash your hands of it, go on your way. Let the kid live. Even if it has MS or some, abnormality, if it comes out with one leg, give it a life, man. Let it live.
Yeah.
Let that child live.
You do realize how this is prepping for the future of future technology of genetic babies and so forth, because they're now working on it. It's happening now already in certain places where they are working on creating genetic babies that, fit a profile. You want a kid that is going to be athletic or be smart. They can genetically supposedly work that. Well, what happens when you do it and it ends up wrong and you have the baby? You just abort it because it's not what you wanted. It's setting it all up. Trust me, everything that we see happening on the negative side is actually designed to propel us to the extremities of darkness. Well, like we can't even imagine where they want to take us, to be quite honest. Yeah.
And it's scary stuff here. I mean, the other related story is Dr. Fauci. Text messages of his were released that showed that he had absolute knowledge of the fact that the mRNA experimental jab was directly associated with miscarriages in the first trimester. Irrefutable. I mean, he knew about it and then testified the exact opposite in front of Congress. No wonder he got a blanket pardon for everything he did, every crime he committed, every murder he committed. And he is truly, truly a man who's going to go down in history as being one of the mass murderers of all time. He's going to go down there with Hitler. He's going to go down with some of the worst people, Mengele, the worst people that ever existed, Fauci, you know? And there's just no way around it at this point. The man was a monster. He created this lab with NIH money because it was illegal to do it in America. He did it in China. And then it got out, and then he lied about everything along the way. And now when he's held accountable, like Rand Paul said, I wish he'd just own up to it. I wish he'd just own up and say, you know what, we screwed up. I got a blanket pardon for it also. I'm going to tell you the truth. Man, we screwed up. But he didn't. He took the fifth over and over and over. The man needs to be prosecuted, and it's coming. It's coming. He knew that this thing would cause abortions or miscarriages in the first trimester or the second or whatever, you know, but mainly in the first. And he did nothing. He never warned anybody. And then he told you to get the third shot, the fourth shot, because you can't spread it. You might get it, but you won't spread it if you get the fourth shot. Well, you're still going to get it, and you could spread it, but at least you'll have diabetes and 3 other, you know, ailments.
Yeah. And they used such authoritarianism during that time to get people to get that death jab. And I just saw today where John Roberts of Fox News, he had taken the jab, got pericarditis, one of the main side effects of the COVID death jab, and didn't tell the public about it. Did not tell the people for fear, I guess, you know, or I would say because he was a coward, you know.
And I think I read that story. He then took the 4th shot and got it again.
Yeah, you literally get pericarditis from the jab, then you take more, and he did. That shows the level of coercion that was being used by the Biden administration, Fauci, and others. You know,
yeah,
because what is
force him to do that?
Biden said this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. Remember that?
And I mean, he could have said no, but then that would have forced him, you know, Fox News would have fired him. He would have been out on the street with losing his $1.5 million job. So he's going to say, okay.
Yeah, he was willing to die. Know? I think that's nuts, dude. It shows how much uncontrolled these people are in the fake news media. They are literally owned by these people. And they value their job and their fame and their money and their position and their clout more than almost anything. How could we possibly trust those people? Shouldn't we be able to trust people who just want to deliver the truth to us and give us what we need to hear instead of pretending? And Fauci, he did the same thing. He got a side effect from the jab as well, and he kept it a secret. This has all come out now, folks. Go do your research. We're not making stuff up.
Mm-hmm. And we're not. It's a real thing. And, you know, most of you know this. The vast majority of our listeners know what we're talking about here with all this. We've been covering it since 2020, 2021, when the VAX came out. I mean, it didn't take long for the VAERS reports to start coming in, rolling in, and get unreported anywhere except for us who, you know, talked about them ad nauseum. I mean, Yotivation, God, every time I give her the mic, it's VAERS. I mean, you know, go back and listen to any of the shows. Go back. I challenge you guys. We're in archive.org. Go find some of our shows from like pivotal moments during COVID and listen to what we said that week when such and such news broke. And, you know, we were on this from the get-go. Our eyes were never, you know, pulled out with the wool over our eyes, so to speak. We were wide open, eyes wide open the whole time, and reported on it, which is, you know, very rare out there. Most news won't touch what we do with the 10-foot pole. So anyway, in the last little article we'll cover tonight, Florida transportation officials say the state is preparing to enter a new era of flying cars, are expected to begin tests in Florida's airspace by the end of the year. And he says what the Department of Transportation Secretary there says, what you see in the Jetsons is becoming a reality. So by the end of the year, they built this track down there to allow autonomous high-speed, flights intended for people. Pretty cool stuff. It might not be as long as we think it'll be until this becomes a reality. I doubt it'll be cheap, but it beats sitting in traffic for an hour, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, I kind of always wondered if I could peer through the windows of time and just look, where we're going to be in 5 years, where we're going to be in 10 years, it would probably blow my mind. But then again, I don't think I want to know, I don't think I want to know. I just think that it might be too shocking. Some of it's good.
Yeah.
Maybe the flying cars. I mean, it's what we've been waiting for. It's what people said they wanted. They wanted the Jetsons, and maybe they're going to give it to us because we asked for it. I don't know if it's the best thing or not. Maybe it'll be cool. Maybe it won't. Who knows? We'll find out soon enough, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. And Barry, man, it's always great to have you. Bullhorn Barry, go find him on X, folks. Go find him on MySpace, Facebook, all the good stuff. Any place you'd expect to find Barry.
And I've got an extensive article on the brain organoids on X. You can find that. I've also got a extensive and exhaustive definition of woke right if you're interested on that. All that can be found on my X page. Check it out.
All right, folks, on that note, we're all out of time. We got to end the show here, but stay tuned. There's much more coming from DREAGUS Productions right after this break.
You guys are great. Man, you have me on a hanger there for a minute.
Oh, no.
Man.
I knew he was running over.
Yeah.
Did we get done in time, though?
No, we went a little
Yeah, we were
over.
17 seconds over.
Okay.
17 seconds.
I thought I could squeeze
Yeah.
that in there.
Plus the...
You did.
Well, see, you have to add the 17 plus the outro. Which is another 30 seconds.
Got it.
Well, I've never been told that I needed to account for the outro.
No, that's why I usually take you out by the 55-minute mark.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Good. So great show, guys. Thanks everyone
Awesome
out there
show.
listening. We appreciate each and every one of you. Mark, thank you. And Barry, thank you.
Awesome.
We will see you next Wednesday.
Sounds
Alrighty,
great.
thank you,
I'm
guys.
going to get Jack Carey up and running here. So let's get it going. All right? You guys take care, and I'll get this up and out like I always do.
All right.
All right. Good night, Barry. All right, that was Censorship Sucks. Coming up right now is Jack Carey with the Paranormal Intelligence Agency. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. How are ya?
I'm doing pretty good, Jack, and you?
Good. Let's see
Yeah, I'm
here.
switching my camera on, too.
There we are.
All right. Looks good.
Cool.
Nice and level.
Very good. Let's see here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Very cool.
Pretty good here. What are you doing tomorrow, Jack? Are you busy tomorrow?
What? It depends on what time.
Yeah, evening, around this time, maybe.
Oh, I could probably fill in or do something. What did you need?
I think we should work on getting the links and all that so that I can restream to you directly.
Oh, that'd be perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Let's set a time for that. You tell me what's good for you.
About this time is
Okay.
good. 7.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
7 o'clock my time, basically. I'll hit you up around 7 tomorrow.
Okay.
All right?
Give me near that works for sure. So.
Yeah. Hey, did you happen to catch any of Jimmy Church's stuff this week?
I did not. What did he say?
Oh, actually, Jimmy interviewed AI. An AI fortune teller, well, not fortune teller, astrologer. Yeah.
Oh.
So it was kind of slow because the way the connections were set. But I could see where it would go pretty quick if it was just kind of without stream to stream to stream, all those connections, which probably slowed it down quite a bit. It did a lot of thinking, but it looked good. I mean,
Well, that's cool. I have not even thought about doing something like that.
yeah, I wouldn't think about doing anything like that other than maybe using an avatar instead of my camera.
So,
Let me fix this real quick and then put you on put you in the main, put you on the main deal here. There you go.
cool.
All right. I'm going to get us going here. What do we have tonight, Jack?
We're going to be talking about an esoteric mystery referred to as the cutting of the elm by the Grail bloodlines, and we're going to be talking about a bunch of other stuff, sort of a lot of financial stuff having to do with escaping the wheel, the ongoing.
Okay. Well, here's your countdown. 3, 2, 1, and you're live right now.
Welcome back, everybody, to Paranormal Intelligence Agency Radio Live. I'm your host, Jack Carey, and we are broadcasting from 300 feet deep in an abandoned nuclear missile silo somewhere lost in the post-apocalyptic wastelands of the Dakota Territories. And I am joined, as always, by the paranormal crime-fighting duo Daisy and the Sundance Kid. And tonight, we're going to be talking about a little-known esoteric mystery, historic mystery. Strangely enough, it's called The Cutting of the Elm. It ties into the mystery of Rennes-le-Chateau and the Lost Grail bloodlines. This, of course, is referring to the ancient royal bloodlines of Europe that go all the way back to ancient Sumeria and humanity's interaction with non-human entities that produced offspring. We're going to get into the deep of all of this kind of stuff tonight. And we're going to be talking about my ongoing segment quite a bit about escaping the wheel. So if you are one of the listeners out there that have found your way to the PIA Radio Live show, found your way to my show, and I don't even know how many of you out there, but it takes a lot to make your way here. Then I count you as one of the lucky ones. And that's not because I'm putting on a grand show with a bunch of awesome, effects and all that kind of stuff. But you're going to hear secrets on this show that you're not going to hear anywhere else. I largely cover things that other radio shows, podcasts, what have you, probably are unfamiliar with, and how they tie into what we see today in real life on the here and now. That's the interesting thing about some of the esoteric knowledge that was really more or less bestowed upon me over the course of a number of years by a very prominent European esoteric group that seemed okay after corresponding with them enough to answer many of my questions, things of that nature. And a lot of this knowledge made its way into my book, American Sorcerer. Now with UFO, UAP disclosure taking place, and the use of intelligence groups moving further into the psionic field, the use of psychics to conduct espionage and warfare using psychic means, that sort of thing. Really, the book I wrote 30 years ago, American Sorcerer, couldn't be more, important than it is today. It's a mixture of the CIA's actual control protocols. And yes, they were published, and I went through them with a fine-tooth comb. I then applied those control protocols from the remote viewing Stargate program to various techniques that have been practiced for eons of time by esoteric groups in order to control the psychic functioning that they were getting to occur through, let's say, ritualized means. They would get occasional effects to occur psychically through those means. This was a way of putting control mechanisms on those in such a way that they could then be more machine-like in nature and produce repeatable results. And that's, something I hope has gotten some of their attention over time. By the way, we will be talking about Dick Algier and the Future Forecasting Group's predictions for really a pretty immediate future. Time is a funny thing with remote viewing because it's like, you're driving in a car towards a mountain and you don't have a clock or a speedometer or anything in the car to be able to tell time, but you're getting closer to the mountain, and there's going to be a few signs that you're going to see before you get to the mountain. And in this case, the mountain would be a big event of some kind, right? Taking place big enough that it will cause worldwide change to occur. And in this particular case, it's financial in nature. So what better time than this than to talk about the esoteric trick of escaping the wheel? And if you had tuned into my last program, you'll know that I'm performing or showing you guys how to perform a type of modern day alchemy. We're going to turn words on pages of worthless books into actual tangible gold being traded by contract at 19 times leverage. And we're going to have that entire thing automated in such a way that really it requires minimal amounts of effort in the end. There's a huge amount of effort in the beginning. So don't let me lead you astray thinking that this is some sort of get rich quick scheme. No. This is something that it's one way, and there are various techniques and ways. I happen to have a love of books, and so this for me was a very easy fit, and I did this many years ago, and now I am bestowing the knowledge upon you guys. It's something I do on an ongoing basis now. So basically what we're doing is we're sourcing books from our local environment. This can include thrift shops, used bookstores, estate sales, garage sales. As I did this particular week, I put a simple listing onto Facebook Marketplace saying that I picked up and hauled off unwanted books. Right. So this particular week has been a super busy week. I'm exhausted. You guys will have to kind of bear with me as we go along because I'm mentally exhausted and physically exhausted from the sheer amount of work that I did this week, both on the property here, but also on this project. And so I was contacted by a teacher. The teacher said that she didn't have free books, but what she did have were 500 books and she wanted $50 for them. That's right. I bought 500 books for $50. That's 10 cents a book. That's really, really cheap, guys. Almost any book's profitable when your cost is 10 cents, but you don't want to waste your time storing books that aren't going to sell relatively quickly. You don't need the overhead, you don't need the cost, you don't need the headache of having them in your system, trying to keep them all straight for that long a period of time. So because of that, what you want to do is, one of the first things is you're going to want to download an app to your phone. And this is step one, and it comes from a company called Three Colds, and it's called Scout IQ. Scout IQ is your link to Amazon's book database. Every listing of every book Amazon sells, and they sell 70% of the world's book supply. So what that allows you to do, and you don't need one of these little things. This is a handheld in your palm Bluetooth barcode scanner. I utilize these. I recommend them. They cost like $30, but it's invaluable as far as I'm concerned because it allows you to scan through hundreds of books in an hour. Rather than having to pick every book up by hand, hold your phone over it, use the scanner on your phone to scan it into the Scout IQ app. This allows you to zap a book while it's still on the shelf. And you can go through hundreds of books in very, very short period of time. And so I was able to, this lady contacted me, this teacher. I was able to pick the books up the next day. I then went through and scanned every one of the books, all 500 of them, in a couple of hours is all it took, and separated the books that had good e-scores. An e-score will tell you how many copies of a book is selling per month. You then look on the app, and on the same screen, it'll show you how many copies are available. If the number of copies being sold per month exceeds the number of copies available, you're going to sell that book relatively quickly. That's sort of key to the formula. You can set all of this in the filters of the app. It comes with some preset filters. No, they don't sponsor this show. I'm just sharing this stuff with you guys because it's something that I think everyone should know. And if you found your way here to my YouTube channel or to my live radio show, which goes out all over the place and is archived on like 10 platforms, then you deserve this chance, this opportunity. This is a cool trick to pull. This will allow you to, as we call it in esoteric land, escape the wheel. This will allow you to escape the bonds of your personal finances in such a way that you become a problem for the system. That's the ultimate goal, right? To take the shackles off of you so that, you know, when you wake up every day, you're not automatically going to be required to go punch a clock somewhere. You will decide every morning, like I do, are you going to work that day? Are you not feeling good that day and not going to work, etc.? Because everything's so automated that you're still going to make money, typically, even when you're not doing anything for a day or two. So, you know, for instance, I've shipped out 4 used books today. I made $200 off of those used books, and I sold 18 books through my KDP publishing business, which is a whole separate entity and activity to this. One complements the other greatly, but we're concentrating just on sourcing very cheap and expensive books. So you'll find usually in your area, if you're in some sort of urban area, you'll find that there will be some thrift stores that, or like charity type places where people donate things. Often they will donate lots of books, and those books are put on shelves and resold to the public at a huge discount. One particular place I just discovered was or looks to be what I refer to as a gold mine. I walked in there were hundreds of books, obviously never scanned before. They were beautiful, most of them in brand new condition. I was able to scan through roughly 200 to 300 books in less than an hour. Purchase 50 of those books for a total of $48 with my discount, including tax. When I took those 48 books and scanned them into my inventory, they were worth in excess of $1,400. I did that in an hour. $1,400 in an hour. Every one of them a high E score, meaning that they are in high demand and are selling for a good price. So these are things that you can do in your own place. Second to the app and all of that is needing and having a place to sell your inventory, which is starting, and everybody can do this, but start a Amazon reseller account. Don't go crazy with your reseller account. Watch some of these crazy YouTube videos where the kid's like, I sold $30 million on Amazon. Like, I have no doubt some of them have, probably. But you don't just jump willy-nilly into that world and think you're going to sort of pull that off without a whole lot of background knowledge of how not to step on a landmine when it comes to dealing with Amazon. Because with Amazon, you don't mess around. If somebody orders something, you ship it right then. Your account health is everything, and they can shut you down in a heartbeat. So don't mess around. And don't, before you become adept at doing this with used books that can be sourced readily and resold for a phenomenal margin, don't spread out to other products. Other products are for far more advanced operators in this than what I'm merely showing you guys how to get started at doing. And this is a modern experiment in alchemy, right? We're taking paper, worthless, largely, $1 a book, $1.50. That's what I was sourcing these books for. And turning that into contracts that allow you to trade gold at 19 times leverage. Now that's a trick worth watching, right? And it's something I do all the time. So I'm just in the midst of showing you guys how to do that. So that's where you're at. Get your seller account going, get the app on your phone. Highly recommend a Bluetooth Wi-Fi scanner, barcode scanner. And then you'll want to go out and begin to source some of your first inventory. Don't go crazy and buy books that are going to take a long time to resell. It only ties up your available cash. And the whole idea of reselling on Amazon is speed of rotation. We are creating a wheel in order to escape the wheel. That's what's required. So what's going to end up happening is you're also, once you have your inventory and it's selling pretty good on Amazon and you're accumulating the side cash, we're going to go in and you're going to start your very own Coinbase account. Ooh, that's scary. That's cryptocurrency land. I don't want to touch that. No, we're not talking about cryptocurrencies. We're talking about trading a real commodity of gold. Cryptocurrencies are fine, and yes, they will go up in time. They're going to make a lot of millionaires, etc. Whatever, that's fine. That's for investors. I'm a trader, and escaping the wheel includes trading of precious metal commodities, right? So that's what we're going to concentrate on. You're going to then connect your Coinbase account as being where your Amazon proceeds deposit into. True, you can have it sent to your regular checking account and transfer it over to Coinbase, but for the sakes of automation of this particular experiment, let's say you just connect them, right? And so now you have a steady, readily available flow of cash coming into this Coinbase account. And when you accumulate a few $1,000s, we're going to turn around and we're going to buy some contracts. Ooh, that's scary, right? We're going to buy some gold contracts that are timed out about 30 days because we only hold them for a day, maybe two. We're not day trading, but we're trading a very, very small 15-minute time frame. And we're only looking for 1% moves in the underlying commodity. What if I told you you could take $2,000, buy gold commodity contracts, and buy them at 19 times leverage through a simple Coinbase account? And so basically with $2,000, you now have purchased $38,000 worth of gold. What if I told you that if you knew what you were doing and you knew the right pattern, you could tell when you were going to get a 1% move in a day's trading time of 7-8 hours? And if you did so, you'd walk away with $380 that day. Now, let's say you magnified that somewhat. Let's say you did it with $5,000. Well, now you're trading right around $100,000. So every time you turn that little 1% on a 15-minute move, you're making $1,000. That's life-changing kind of money. If you know what you're doing, and if you don't know, if you don't get greedy, because pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. That's always been the way it is, and it will always be the way it is. So that's where we're at with escaping the wheel right now. This is an actual exercise and esoteric techniques in order to free you up from that personal bondage of having to report to another human being every day. What that then does is it frees you up to become your own free agent. And hopefully, and the whole idea among these groups is you then utilize that time in order to hone yourself, your mind, your own psychic abilities, so that you become a problem for the control mechanism that originally put you in the bondage to begin with. That's the whole idea, is one by one by one, they slowly get freed up from the wheel, they escape the wheel, they then hone themselves into a psychic weapon, and they begin to be a real problem for the control mechanism that was put in place on this planet many, many millennia ago by what appears to be a non-human intelligence. So, tonight, our main topic is fascinating stuff. So we're going to be talking about the cutting of the elm. Everybody knows or presupposes or has heard the conspiracy theories about particular bloodlines on this planet holding most of the power and control over the rest of humanity. What many people don't know is that that all began with interaction between what appeared to be non-humans and humans in ancient Sumeria. It was also recorded in the Book of Enoch. and it produced a lineage, a royal bloodline. But at some point, there was a lot of interdrama that took place, and that bloodline severed itself. The severing of the bloodline into two distinct separate groups, which today vie for control of this planet, is referred to in esoteric orders as the cutting of the elm. We're going to be talking about the cutting of the elm, what that means for us, how it leads to what the future forecasting group has predicted for our immediate future. And we're going to touch on the amazing, beautiful, truly enigmatic mystery of Rennes-le-Chateau, and how and why one of these things leads us ultimately to the rabbit hole of controlling the collective subconscious. What a weird rabbit hole this one is, right, guys? But stay tuned, and right after our break, we're going to get back to all of that and a whole lot more. Be kind of putting a little more detail into escaping the wheel, but we're going to delve deeply into the bloodlines, also known as the Grail bloodlines or the Rex-Dew families. We'll get back to that right after our break.
Great job, Jack. Interesting
Thank
stuff
you.
there. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Hello, YouTubers out there in YouTube land. You can't see my computer over here, my producer, and all that, but you can hear him. You can hear Mark, the disincarnate voice that just permeates the ether of the silo here.
That's me. I had to throw the effect in. Come on.
You.
That's me. Yes.
Craziness.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll have Miss Nancy back tonight. I think she. What we had last week was mostly weather where she was at. Florida's been getting hammered by storms and that for a while. It's that time of year, I guess.
I need to see when she wanted to have me on as a guest to discuss Black Hand, my new book on the Pentagon's UFO crash retrieval programs and their use of psychics, but I haven't been on Facebook a whole lot and not been in contact with her a whole lot.
Yeah, she's been pretty busy. So, yeah, just pop in.
Right.
We can give a little bit about it, and then, you're part of the panel there anyway, so just, she's going to say, come on, Jack, give us the lowdown on the book. Oh, I got to update my stuff, too, because you got more books than what I have listed, so I'm going to be like, I have to just put the many books of Jack Carey.
Yes. That's right.
Buy them now. Buy Jack's
right.
books, by the way. Yeah,
They're selling well, so
that's great.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've got this one book about professional culinary presentation.
Yeah. Have you bought your own book and resold it?
No, I haven't. That would be fun.
I'm waiting for your excellent sales on that. Yeah.
That's funny.
I want
no.
I want to try to get you in with John and the guys too, because, well, it would probably be on a Sunday night if that's possible for you, because Doc 420, he does a lot of crypto talk, and get you in with them to talk crypto and the trading, what you're doing, and to see, I think they're primarily trading cryptos, different cryptos, but you can.
Sure.
This would be a really good segue in showing, hey, you can get into it smaller or bigger by doing this without having to offset or
Yeah,
dump
honestly,
the cart,
when I
dump the cart for all or none,
yeah, no, and when I came across the mechanism by which we're judging the 1% moves, because I have family that are also doing this because I showed them how, but it's like mainlining cash right into your bottom line. It's insane.
Yeah.
It really is. So
I got to figure out if there'd be a way that I could do it without messing my settlement up. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that would be killer.
If that would be good, then that would also give me some leverage to add things to boost us as well out there.
That'd be killer.
Yeah. Well, we're under 30 seconds, but we can, it's all good.
Absolutely.
What do you got for cryptids tonight, Jack? You got anything good for us on that?
I don't. I monitor cryptid stuff all the time. It's like cryptid world's kind of hit a wall. There's just never a real new discovery. Nobody brings in a body.
Okay, this is going to be real quick, all right? 3, 2, 1, and you're live for the last segment right now.
Welcome back, everybody, to Paranormal Intelligence Agency Radio Live. I'm your host, Jack Carey, your personal tour guide to the Twilight Zone. I've got a face for milk cartons and a voice for smell-o-vision. And tonight we're talking about escaping the wheel, and we're talking about crazy, esoteric talk. You want to know what these groups talk about? This is what they talk about. So yeah, the cutting of the elm, let's get back to that. So this interaction occurred. It's described in the ancient Sumerian tablets. People are like, what, like some fragments or whatever? No, we've got something like 250,000 cuneiform tablets from ancient Sumeria. Most of them were discovered in the ancient palace of Ashurbanipal. And most of them, the number of people that can actually read cuneiform and correctly translate it are like, you can count them on one hand. That being said, they've had them for a really long time, and they've been able to translate a great number of them. And what they talked about was that there was a interaction between early humans and something that was non-human. They referred to them as the Anunnaki, or those who to the earth from the skies came. That's what the word means. It also means the people of Anu. That was their ultimate leader. There were 2 royal sons, apparently, that were sent to this planet to rule it. They needed to mine gold in order to repair their own atmosphere. All of this stuff is talked about. And most importantly, they interbred with humans, but not before genetically altering them to look just like themselves. In other words, when it says, the book of Genesis, we made humans or man in our image. It doesn't say my, it says our, plural. And that's what they did. And then they found human women attractive and beautiful. They interbred and married with them. The very first one of these sort of interactions occurred between Enki and his wife Nenkarsag, and she was a genetic scientist. She mixed some of his genetic material into the womb of what we can only presume was a hominid creature, and slowly began the genetic process of creating, manipulating, if you will, genetically the genes of early humans. This led then to an actual mating interaction that produced bloodlines. those bloodlines are well aware of their origins. In fact, most of them have records going all the way back to that period of time in order to prove that they have that pedigree, because that's what's important to them. The pedigree from the people that rule planet Earth comes from the fact that they are bloodlines of something that interacted with humanity that wasn't human. So you have to begin on that ball field. That's where the game is being played, right? So there was a period of time, and shortly after, like the medieval period, where this one all-powerful sort of Anunnaki bloodline that was derived from Enki actually had a big internal dispute that led to a severing of ties, and that is referred to as the cutting of the elm. So if you're ever somewhere where people are in the know and you're at a fancy cocktail party and you didn't know it, but these are all the right people that have been in the right places at the right time, and you hear somebody refer to the cutting of the elm, you're going to know who you're with. So, and that's important because what that's done is it's produced really two different groups of people on this planet vying for ultimate control. And ultimately, they're both derived from the same bloodline. This is also often referred to as the Grail bloodlines. I spent a number of years in the Denver underground scene working with a now famous investigator named Tracy Twyman, who met an untimely death not so long ago in Seattle, investigating some very dark things for the federal government. That tells you how serious it was. She actually was producing, for somebody I can only suspect, but I know she had ties to the Crown Prince of Scotland, but she was producing some magazines at the time known as Dagobert's Revenge, referring to these bloodlines, and I did a fair amount of research shoulder to shoulder with Tracy Twyman for a very long time dealing with these bloodlines. So it's interesting that we now have a number of predictions coming out of the Future Forecasting Group, which is headed by Dick Allgaier, who has a pedigree going back really ultimately to the CIA's original Stargate program. And let's put it out there, the original Stargate program was good, and it produced like superstars like, Ingo Swann and Joseph McMoneagle and David Morehouse, and these guys are legendary with psychic espionage. But what's cool is that the Future Forecasting Group is saying that there's a powerful group of people that control the worldwide economy. Who do you think that is? This was a blind target, by the way, given to all 7 of their viewers, completely blind. They never know what it is they're viewing. So when all 7 of them report seeing the same thing, that's usually a high probability bet. And they have an extremely high success rate with their remote viewing over a Future Forecasting Group. So for them to say that the people, the real power brokers that control the worldwide economy, have positioned themselves they're almost there. They've positioned themselves almost perfectly to be able to take full advantage of a worldwide transition into cryptocurrencies. People out there who really don't know this stuff think that cryptocurrencies are a way of governments losing control. No. It's not about that. The real power is behind. There are people that are behind those governments. There are people that put governments into place, you know, and that's where the real power resides. And those people see cryptocurrency as the ultimate form of control. There is no way to hide anything on blockchain technology. And that's what they love. That's what they want. And they are more than willing to trade a huge wealth transfer, if you will, because there will be many, many people become quite wealthy off of owning cryptocurrencies when this tide actually hits. The Future Forecasting Group has finally seen the event. It seems to begin with the bond market, something to do with the debt ratios between the US and Japan and sovereign debt bonds. There's a domino there of some kind that's teetering, and these guys know it, and they have the ability to give it that final push. And when they do, you're going to just see a huge number of dominoes just start cascading down. And what that's going to do is create a huge amount of social upheaval and economic upheaval. But it will usher in cryptocurrencies once and for all to take over the debt-based fiat currency system that they have put into place. And with it, ultimate final control of the world's population through blockchain technology. Gotta hand it to them. These guys are smooth operators. They have been for a long time, and there's a reason why they're smooth operators, and that's because they are neurologically, genetically superior to most humans. Nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, we're all human, right? But these bloodlines, because of their interaction going back, and because they've largely have, we're told to, and have chosen to interbreed with one another, have been able to maintain a type of psychic purity which allows them to have the same thing that some of the, like, alien beings that people report have, which is a neurologic capacity to sort of gain an advantage over other humans. And, you know, they invented the monetary system. These are the guys that invented Babylonian money magic, which created the bonds that you find yourself in right now. And I should presage all of this, or go back and say, you know, I am not a financial analyst at all. In fact, this is largely just dubious speculation by Jack Carey. So, but these guys are going to usher that in. At the same time that they made that decision to push the domino pretty soon. They also made the decision they're going to basically pit one school of thought in the Muslim religion against the other school of thought. There's two different kinds of Muslim, and they don't get along real well. And the power brokers behind the scenes are having a fight club, let's call it that, on a huge socioeconomic scale, where they're going to put this fighter against this fighter. They're the two Muslim groups, and they're going to have one. They're going to go at it till only one's left. And they referred to that, and this was also seen at the Future Forecasting Group, but they referred to that as a mass sacrificial event. really know what they mean by that, but you have to keep in mind that the people that make up these bloodlines and that practice these techniques and that are already highly psychically advanced, etc., hold certain beliefs and they act accordingly. That's extremely important to remember, because when you realize that part of it, you can get an inner glimpse of motive. And motive is ultimately the hardest thing to determine a lot of the times, right? So this leads us into the mystery of Rennes-le-Chateau, as it's called, because ultimately Inky and his other fallen Anunnaki, what I referred to as the Royal Guard, there were 200 of them that were cast down with Inky and then Karsog onto Mount Harmon. That is recounted in both the Book of Genesis and the Book of Enoch. They then were left here ever. Well, I put it to people like this. Let's say you go against what your father told you to do in the Grand Council, and you mix your royal DNA with a creature they see as being sub them. Big no-no. Big no-no. So he gets completely cast out. Inky does. And he gets cast down onto the planet where he created this genetic mess. And he will be there forever. Imagine that you were marooned on a desert island with no technology, no medical, anything, no goods, nothing, no tools, you name it. It's all gone. What would you build? What could you build? Because these dudes were so advanced, they went around the world and built monuments out of sheer stone that we can't even duplicate today. That's how advanced. Just with sheer engineering knowledge and know-how, they were able to do that. But they were marooned here forever. And what did they do? They settled in. They produced more offspring, and then they began to teach them that there was a secret to their biology, that there was a secret to reality itself, that reality was programmable, and that they possessed the genetic biological capability to emit what they refer to as etheric wave patterns in order to create effects in our reality matrix through will alone. That's some pretty heady stuff, but that's what we're talking about. And that's where this rabbit hole leads. What's crazy is that ultimately Inky becomes entombed when he dies, because they all eventually died. They had phenomenal lifespans, but eventually all the fallen Anunnaki passed away. And Inky was seen as the Forgotten Father. They still refer to him as that. And the Forgotten Father was put into a tomb in the south of France that is right between 5 mountain peaks. Those 5 mountain peaks form perfectly a 5-pointed star. Very strange and very weird and very funny thing then that the Knights Templar came along, apparently had knowledge all of this, and built 13 churches around those 5 mountain peaks to create a perfect pentagram. At the center of the pentagram itself is a triangular field in the south of France, very near the village of Rennes-le-Chateau. And that triangle has inscribed upon it, or did for many, many, many decades, a serpent with wings. That serpent with wings is an Egyptian hieroglyph that refers to the star Sirius. There's a lot of other interesting things, including the La Serpent Rouge poems, which ultimately were published in the Bibliothèque Nationale in France and were published by one of the people in one of these bloodlines that knew the truth of that tomb and who put it out into the public. That ended up getting a number of Freemasons murdered. It's a fascinating story how all of this happens. But ultimately, what you need to know is that the secret at Rennes-le-Château was being kept by Renaissance painters. See, it was discovered that esoteric occult groups in the past would pick what they call, including the Priory of Sion, if you've never heard of them, they would pick what's called a natanier. It's a French word, it means navigator. A natanier, even today, is someone who can create images and share them with others in such a way that it changes how others act. Okay? That's important because what we're about to get into is the ultimate goal of these groups, which is controlling the collective subconscious. Because that evolved. And over time, instead of hiding the secrets with Renaissance painters who knew all of this esoteric knowledge and hid it within their paintings, there was a man named Nicolas Poussin, by the way. Look into his works. All of the secrets are in his paintings. And he was one of the nataniers. He was a navigator, right? Even Leonardo da Vinci was chosen once to be the navigator as the Priory of Zion. At least he is listed as such in their own documents. So you can see what they do. They're choosing people that can create images, create change in such a way that it ends up capturing the imagination of the rest of humanity, because that's what's important. Every human on this planet is constantly emitting etheric wave patterns. The goal is to share something, an idea, presented as entertainment in such a way that it engages their minds to such a degree that it begins to sink down into the collective subconscious. Let's say you make a movie, right, today. And let's say one of these groups is behind all of this and the movie goes out and it makes billions of dollars shared with billions of people. And it's a huge knockout, right? Huge hit. And then a few years later, it looks like the things depicted in that movie are coming true. It happens over and over and over again. The Simpsons, believe it or not, is one of the linchpins in all of this. Look up the Simpson mystery and how many predictions that they made that they got right. How many people have watched those over and over and over again? What if you use the right colors, the right music, the right frequency of voices, the right everything in order to produce that effect, to get it to sink down into the collective subconscious? Because whatever you can get to sink into the collective subconscious will become manifest in this reality matrix. I call it the Sutter-Kane effect after the movie Into the Mouth of Madness. Remember that movie with Sam Neill, just passed away, as an author who writes books that are so popular, horror novels, so popular that virtually everyone in the world reads them. And when they do, it sinks down into the collective subconscious and begins to manifest as all of these actual horror events taking place all over the world. That's what we're talking about. It's that idea, it's that mechanism. Can you share something widely enough in a compelling fashion, compelling enough to engage their minds in such a way that it's recorded into their subconscious? Because over time, anything in the subconscious mind eventually makes it through what's known as the liminal threshold and becomes manifest into reality. You think I'm kidding? Just listen to what the whistleblowers and the UFO phenomenon are saying, because what they're telling us is that there's a technology there, much like what was described by Michael Crichton and Sphere, and that it auto-neural links with the nearest human and then produces what they call the hitchhiker effect. All kinds of weird paranormal type stuff starts happening around the person. That's because these machines can actually manifest what's going on in your collective subconscious, or in the subconscious of the individual in a particular case. So, yeah, we went full circle from one esoteric circle of escaping the wheel into the actual bloodlines that created the esoteric groups that created the bondage that is necessary for us to escape the wheel. And then we talked about how ultimately controlling the collective subconscious, that is the best form of control that there is. And these groups are vying for it. So that's tonight's rabbit hole, guys. I hope I didn't get too heavy for you, but that's what we do on this show. We talk about things nobody else does. And join me next week. We'll explore another deep, dark, esoteric mystery, hopefully share a few secrets. And until then, I will see you guys on the radio.
Great job, Jack.
Thank you. And I'll see you YouTubers next week. We'll have that embedded live code. So next week it should just come up live for you guys on Wednesday night. See you then.
Yep. Hopefully we'll get that all straightened out.
Cool.
Yep. I just cleared TMV, so gotta tell Zombie Zach to and I haven't been ever good at talking and typing at the same time. That's probably why I don't play guitar and sing at the same time.
Gotta get it to.
Yeah. All right, let's get Nancy up and rolling here. All right. So I will catch up with you in a little bit if you're coming over for a little while. And then
I got it. I'm actually moving in huge shelving systems here down into my lower level. So now I've got to go do some more manual labor.
Okay. I'll tell her you'll be available next week then.
Yeah, that would be cool. If she wants to talk about the book, that'd be great.
Sure. Okay. All right. I'll catch up with you later, Jack. Take care, and I'll get this up and out like I always do.
Hey, thank you, sir.
All right. Thanks.
All right.
Great show.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was Jack Carey. Paranormal Intelligence Agency. Coming up is the VIXEN'S Vault. I'll get them up and running here in just a minute. Hope everybody's still in there with us. Here we go.
Hey, Mark and Mark.
Hey, how's it going? Are you all right
Going.
there?
Yeah, we had a terrible thunderstorm earlier, and I didn't think I was going to get on, but we're okay.
Okay.
Still raining, but I think we should be all right here. Hey, Mark, Worthy, how you doing?
Not bad.
Okay.
Bit warm, but
Okay.
not bad.
Yeah. There's Miss Vicky. Vicky's in.
Yeah. Where's Nance?
I don't know.
Any messages?
Roger was talking about a pink flash or something. Roger, that's cool. That's a really good good observation.
Yeah, my brother just caught it.
And you're in,
Southern Illinois.
yeah, I was going to say, you're up higher, so you could see
Nancy
some
dropped?
nice.
Oh, no. Hey, Roger, if you want to take this, if she's not back, we'll do that.
Let's see what happened. I don't know what's going on.
Me
I
either.
gotta check
I mean,
my.
she couldn't get in last week due to weather and work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
Wow.
we need to get something in, and call it a Vixen's Vault tonight.
Yeah.
You Legion of Chaos cronies, you.
Let me check this audio.
I know what we'll do. We'll have Vicky take it tonight. What do you want to talk about tonight, Vicky? Yeah, you never get to talk, and you and Mark take it tonight. If Nance doesn't come in, I hope she does soon because we're about to go live.
We're at 9 right now on my computer.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring us in.
Now, can you hear me?
I can hear you great.
Yeah, you
Okay.
fine.
Got some weird microphone stuff going on where I can hear my voice. I don't like that.
Wow. Must be the storms, Roger.
Oh,
Well,
here she is. Now she's coming.
They update my computer without my permission, and then they turn around and they reset everything.
That happened to me last night.
I hate that. I hate Microsoft.
Is that because of the celestial stuff, or just on the ground, or what? Or it's just been weird.
I'm just gonna.
Normal.
Hopefully, we can bring her in here and get it going. Yeah, we are behind right now, but that's fine. Other than that, I'll get us going. I'll introduce the panel, and then hopefully we can get Nance in.
I'm just going to keep harassing her. I called her.
Don't call her, because if you call her, it won't be able to get in.
Say woman.
All right.
Say woman.
Get quiet, guys. Here, I'm going to come in. Hello and welcome to the Vixen's Vault. I know I'm not Nancy Planetta, but I still have. That's right, the Legion of Chaos with us. Starting with David Campione, Mark Edworthy, Vicky Vass, and Roger Hansen. And we're still trying to get our hostess in. For some reason, she's not picking up. I'm trying like crazy. But what do y'all want to talk about tonight until we get Nance in?
Let's talk about the devil.
Okay, Vicky, you pick that one up. We'll go starting from the...
He's not my friend. I don't like him.
Yeah, but we could probably start from the book of Genesis and go on from there.
Actually,
This little light of mine.
I'm impressed you know that. But then you would be, because is it Methodist? No, Mennonite.
I'm Mennonite. Originally. Yeah.
And a sweeter group of people I can't imagine knowing.
Yeah. Anyways, this is the Vixen's Vault, and we are really in chaos tonight without our fearless, that's right, fearless leader, Nancy Planetta.
We had a lot of celestial events today that were...
More tonight at midnight, after midnight.
Mm-hmm. And usually those portents mean something, like something's going to happen.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, well, the
Mention-
Persid meteor shower, which starts about midnight or after midnight tonight or into tomorrow morning, that comes around every August. I mean, it's just nothing unusual.
In case it wasn't listed before, all right, today is 12 August 2026, Wednesday. If you're here in the continental United States or in South America, it's still 2026. Now, if you're over where Mark Edworthy is, he's probably a day ahead of us, or hours ahead of us. So
It's close.
It's still
4 or 5 hours.
2026, though.
yes,
Yeah.
but it's still 2026. We have not changed gears yet. And if we can get our host in, we can change gears.
+5. Just remember, +5. Whatever time it is where you're at in Texas, +5, and you got it.
And that's
Depending
where
on
Mark
the
is.
time, depending if
45.
they change time zones, then it could be plus or minus an hour. Oh, that's right. But anyways, welcome to the stream, folks, and the show. We're here. I'm not quite sure. Jack was in earlier. He had some great topics. What do you guys want to talk about? You know, we got to have a show tonight. We can't have 2 shows in a row that we miss.
The weather?
You mentioned the Mennonites, okay, and that's kind of goes good with what's happening now. Like with the Mennonites, didn't they have their freakish experience because of a solar eclipse, and that's how they became the Mennonites?
No, they followed
Like
Menno and became Mennonites.
Didn't they see an eclipse and decided that the end of the world was coming and that they had to straighten out their ways and not?
Actually,
That's not the Mormons?
actually, Menno and Luther were good friends, but they had some different ideas about how to proceed, with a doctrine, okay, to indoctrinate their groups. So, and then they remained friends, but went their own separate directions. Lutheranism, there's a lot that mirrors Catholicism and Lutheranism from what I've seen. I didn't go to a Lutheran church. My mother did originally, and then after I was born and that, she started going to a Mennonite church where, more family was at. I'm still trying to get a hold of Nancy, and I don't know what the hell is going on. She's showing up live.
Mm-hmm. I asked her if she's all right.
I
did just a second ago. I asked her if she's all right. She hasn't responded yet, so.
I messaged her on Facebook as well, but she don't seem to be there at all. Oh, it's still sending to her. Oh my. So she may be having some internet issues over on her end. I don't know. But anyways, we need to have a show, and we're going to have a show. Let's talk about AI. All right. I was watching Jimmy Church. I don't know if anybody's aware or follows Jimmy Church at all. He has some really great guests in that, and I get involved with watching some of his interesting guests. So he interviewed an AI astrologer. Okay, and it was made by a person, but all of the details and everything is pulled from history, and the charts and all that are all involved with. Oh, hi Nona, thanks. And it was really interesting how that all went. So yeah, well, what do you guys think of that?
Actually,
You know,
I came across a story today, or yesterday, in relation to some company buying up books, buying up fairly rare books, transcribing them into some large language model, and then destroying the books afterwards. Or it was easier for them to actually take off the spines of the books and scan them, and then destroy the books.
That was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, those were priceless, you know, very limited copies of that. And they really did and fed it into the whatever it was, destroyed them.
Yeah. It's okay to destroy.
Here's Nancy. Nancy just.
welcome in to your show, Nancy.
Dude, why did I think today was Tuesday?
No, it's
Oh
Wednesday.
my goodness. Give me a moment because I got to get my headset. I'm going to jump back on. Just give me a moment.
You were.
No,
worried-
stay. You
still
keep your
The
yesterday.
eclipse.
You just stay right there. Don't move. We got you on. Don't move, Nancy, because it's horrible. We've been having to listen to Mark for like the last 15 minutes.
Oh my God, you chased her off, Roger. Don't do
Oh
that.
no!
We got to get her headset.
I messed up.
You're killing me.
Hey,
Everything was
anybody
going
in
so
the-
smooth tonight. Jack's, John's, even Barry was pretty great earlier. And he didn't even go into black pill too much tonight. So.
has anybody been
Well, we're
Roger
not
or
That
putting
Mark
sucks.
nothing.
No.
out in
Yeah.
Texas? You guys, are the people cutting down all the flock cameras in your area?
I don't know. Where I'm at, I don't see them. In the flock cameras that are around, I suppose they're up so high that you would have to get a bucket truck to get to them, you know. So, you know.
Yeah, I took a couple pictures. We got two in my area, about 5 miles from where I live, and I went up and took the photos. I haven't
Yeah.
posted them yet. Yeah.
Oh, David, I've been wanting to ask you to take and get more pictures in for us for the, you know, the wildlife pictures, and maybe throw some of the ones in also that you can send me for the NASA stuff. You're killing me,
Okay.
Nancy.
We have
We're live and
25
on the radio side. Don't
cameras.
do this to me.
We have
I-
25 flock cameras where we are in our
Oh
city.
my God, is that right?
I'm just a
Yep.
producer, for crying out loud. I'm not the host.
5 flock cameras, and then you got any data centers up where you are?
Oh,
Vicky?
yeah, they're building them
Yeah.
all around. But thank God Elon said that we're going to put them in space soon. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So we can't get to them.
Yeah, so we can't, wreck them up there. And there'll be, space is an easy place to keep place cool and things like that. But I don't know why they just can't put it on the north and south pole of the moon and just bounce it off the satellites that he has. Come on.
Well,
I would want to be that network engineer. Jeez.
I mean, if you guys keep destroying all those flock cameras, how are they going to be able to read your license plate?
Yeah, or
Okay.
Sell all your
face.
information.
I always flip in the
Finally,
bird when
okay,
I walk
I'm outta
by,
here.
when I drive
Bye.
by.
Mark.
Hang on 1 minute, guys. I'm so sorry. Hang on 1 second.
We're
As you
hanging,
can
we're
tell,
hanging, Nancy.
Somebody's
We're
wrong.
hanging.
I am so sorry. I've had a very, very crazy day. Hang on a second.
I thought she was drunk.
No. Yeah. Yeah. I almost wish. I was gonna say I almost wish that was a slight possibility, but unfortunately, not even in the realm of reality for me to drink. So yuck.
I know it's bad
Ugh.
when you forget what day it is.
And by the way,
Oh, it's-
Jack said he'll be in next week for his interview with you about the book.
And I went offline for some reason.
And you're
Okay.
still here. And Jack said he's going to be
There we
in
go.
next week for your book. Not your book, but his book.
For his book.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Excellent. I know we had spoken about that, so I'm very glad to hear that. But I'd like to welcome everybody to the Vixen's Vault. I'm a little late. Just a little bit. Today's date, if I ever forget it again, kick me in the face, is August the 12th, 2026. And why should I not forget today's date? Well, because I forgot it, and it was my granddaughter's birthday today. So I am doing really badly insofar as recall right now, but I've had a very crazy week. So it's just unfortunately one of those things. Actually, it's been a crazy 2 weeks, to be very honest with you. But here we are, and here I am, and I heard you guys talking about what I am going to assume is flock cameras. Because I heard kind of the tail end of a conversation where you were talking about something being recorded. I'm thinking, are they talking about the flock cameras? You know, the Palantir, Peter Steele flock cameras that are now being replaced by Axon cameras? Like that is somehow any better than flock cameras? Like they're somehow going to...
Craziest thing was the police were tracking down their the exes and the new girlfriends, or to see if they're cheating on each other.
Stalking women. They're stalking women.
Okay, so did you all see the murder in Florida by a police officer that happened yesterday or day before yesterday? It's all over the national news now, but